Hey everybody, welcome to a brand new Ike Live. The show is brought to you by some amazing companies, including the presenting sponsor of Ike Live, Mystery Tackle Box MTB. It's like happiness right to your doorstep once a month. Mystery Tackle Box puts brand new lures, hot items in your hand once a month. Listen to me. Use the promo code Ike Live. Get 30% off your first Elite box or 50% off your first Pro box. That's unbelievable. Also brought to you by Tin Cup Whiskey. God, I love whiskey. This is American style whiskey cut with Rocky Mountain water. It's got a classic finish to it. I personally love the rye. It's got a little bit of a bold, spicy finish. You're going to love this stuff. Straight from the Rockies to your glass. Also brought to you by TH Marine, the maker of great marine products, from everything from a John boat to a Biggie Smalls yacht. That's TH Marine. Go to thmarine.com, use the promo code Ike Live, and get $10 off a $50 order or more. Unbelievable. Brought to you by Flambeau, the makers of the best tackle storage systems in the world, including the brand new Crank Bank and Blade Crate. Of course, every single Flambeau tackle storage system has Z-Rust incorporated to help keep your hooks rust-free. Go to flambeauoutdoors.com, use the promo code Ike Live, and get 20% off your entire order. That's unbelievable. Brought to you by Founders Beer. God, I love Founders. I'm such a beer guy, and I like all styles of beer. Founders makes them. I want you to go to foundersbrewing.com, or even better yet, download the Founders app. And by doing that, you can find out what dealer or bar has Founders right near you. Also, they're going to keep you ahead of the curve on brand new beer releases. That's foundersbrewing.com. This show's brought to you by Liquid Mayhem. Scent matters. Listen to me. If you want to catch more fish, if you want to catch bigger fish, try some Liquid Mayhem, put it on your favorite lure, and you're going to get bit. Go to liquidmayhem.com, use the promo code Ike Live. You ready for this? For 25% off your order of the best scent on the market, Liquid Mayhem. Also brought to you by Heshy Socks. That's right, Heshy Socks. Who doesn't love a good, comfortable, well-fitting sock? And guess what? The Ike Live crew had a hand in this, and we've got specially designed Ike-style socks just for you. Cushioned foot and toe, stay-up technology, and they've got a technology built in there where they won't stink. This is unbelievable, okay? Great designs, under $10 with the code Ike Live at heshywear.com. Also, they have Ike Foundation design socks. All proceeds go to the Ike Foundation. Brought to you by Torqeedo Motors, the leader in electric motor drives. If you're one of the guys like me, you have a tiny boat, you have a John boat, you live on an electric-only lake, get a Torqeedo if you want to be the fastest, most efficient boat on the water. Go to torqeedo.com. And last but not least, the Ike Live show is brought to you by Hobie Kayaks. Hobie is the Cadillac of kayaks, and kayak fishing is changing the world. Easy access, easy to get into. I want you to go to Hobie.com to check out their large array of kayak products, including the one that I use, the Hobie 360. Listen to me. Prepare yourself. Get your popcorn. Get your Founder's Beer and Tin Cup Whiskey. Get ready for a brand new Ike Live show coming up live right now. Come on, let's watch. Hey, everybody. Folks at home, how you doing tonight? I hope you're having a wonderful Saturday. I want to welcome you to a brand new Ike Live show. And man, oh man, we got another good one for you tonight. Let me start right off the giddy and intro the room, because we got a great crew in the studio tonight, along with a great guest coming on. Sitting to my left, so excited to have him here in the Ike Live studio, Luke Foley from Tin Cup Whiskey joins us tonight. Luke, how you doing?
Good, Mike. How are you?
Dude, I said to you right when I came up, right before we went on, this is so much better than having you 1,000 miles away looking at a little tiny screen. I appreciate you coming in and sitting with us today.
Oh, it's my pleasure. It's a dream come true to be on your show, and we really appreciate you having us out here. So.
Well, we're going to do a lot of talking. I know we've got some announcements we're going to do tonight. Mm-hmm. We got some great stories we're going to tell.
Yep.
And we're going to talk about how Tin Cup has really gotten into the outdoors and fishing, and that's exciting for a lot of people. Mm-hmm. Sitting to my right, you remember him from a couple years ago. That was a joke. The one and only Dave Brodzik, a.k.a. Fathead, a.k.a. Stormtrooper, a.k.a. Worf. How you doing, Dave?
Excellent. Thank you.
Good. I saw that when you first got here, you showed me a picture of Mel catching a big giant one. Been doing a little kayak fishing. That's cool.
Yep. Yeah, we're going to be heading this weekend, probably heading up around Ticonderoga for a little bit.
Nice.
Yeah, we're going to do some more kayak fishing this weekend coming up.
Doing some camping up there? Just going
Don't know. We're going to probably, I don't know. The lows up there, like you might have 81 in the day, but it's cold. It's cold at night, so I don't know about how much camping. We don't have a big, we don't have a big, like, celebrity
one of them
mobile
things.
home like
right.
you. Yeah,
right.
You know,
The glamper.
We're in a tent.
Yeah. Well, we got a glamper. It's a pretty nice glamper. And of course, producing the show tonight here in studio, pushing buttons, making plays, the one and only Brian the Carpenter.
With no further ado.
Yeah. How you doing, Brian?
Cheers, gents.
Cheers to you. Cheers to you guys.
Cheers, Luke.
We got a good one. Let me continue with the introductions and give you a little hint on who our guest is tonight joining us. We've got coming in via Skazoom. In the second segment, we've got a really iconic angler for you. Two-time, not one, but two-time world champion, Bass and FLW. That's hard to do, winning both leagues. Dion Hibdon joined us. Very excited to have him back on Ike Live. Brian, we actually did have him on Ike Live down at the Classic, and I missed it because the sponsors had me running around. My head was spinning, and I was sorry I missed that one.
These sponsors.
Yeah, the sponsors had me running around, but I was sorry I missed that one. I got to watch it on a replay, of course, weeks later, but I'm stoked to have him on the regular show tonight. Get to talk to him. It's going to be a good one, dude.
It's going to be a good one.
It's going to be a great one. You saw the intro. We've got a lot of great companies supporting it. I want to give you a couple little more updates here. Of course, Father's Day, right around the corner, Dave, and a lot of dads out there that are fishermen. What a better gift than a mystery tackle box. And they're awesome. We've got a whole bunch sitting right in front of us. Of course, we've got the regular box. We've got the Pro Box, the Elite Box. If you want a good Father's Day gift, please check it out. Go to mysterytacklebox.com. And man, if you use that Ike Live promo code, Bri, 15% off, bro. It's a lot of money off of that.
That's right.
That's a lot of money.
It's a whole lot.
Also, speaking of Father's Day gifts, look at this. I want to keep it going. Heshy socks. Sport them. Show them there.
I got mine on.
Dave's the only one that didn't wear them. Everybody else has them on. Dave's gone with his old tighty whities, regular white gray. Actually, they're gray. Look, they were white at one time. They look blackish gray now.
I haven't pulled up to my calf, too.
All right. Heshy socks, man. Socks are one of those things that you got to have. Like, you wear socks, right?
Socks, got to have them.
You got to have them. These are comfy. They fit great. They look great. And we help design them. And go over to heshywear.com. Use promo code Ike Live. You get 20% off. And if you go for those Ike Foundation Heshywear socks, the proceeds go directly to helping get kids fishing. So please go over there. Check them out. Makes a great Father's Day gift. Going to continue. A lot of dads have stuff Luke, guys have stuff.
They have stuff.
They have stuff. We got boats. We got
Hose.
bikes. We got hose, the gardening tool kind.
That's right.
We got a lot of stuff. And if you're shopping for a dad that has stuff, you need covers for that stuff. We've got a great new sponsor, Empire Covers. They make covers for everything you can imagine, from a tiny boat and a kayak all the way to that glamper that
they got kayak covers?
They have kayak covers and they have glamper covers. Yeah, they have a great kayak cover. They got a great kayak cover.
Fit the 12 in the Outback?
Yes. I want you to go over to empirecover.com. Use the promo code IkeLive, get 15% off. And last but not least, what a great Father's Day gift, Luke. A bottle of tin cup whiskey.
Absolutely.
Come on, right? Like
Absolutely.
Like
Cheers.
I call it. Let's toast to
Cheers.
that first.
Oh,
Cheers
boy.
to
Cheers.
that.
Go.
Cheers to that. Brian DeClark,
Cheers.
cheers.
That's 2 in the first 15
But
minutes.
this is I call it the good life, right? And here's the thing, man. COVID has put so much fear into people and negativity into the world. But there's a lot of good things that have come out of it. People enjoying the outdoors.
Alcohol addiction.
Not addiction, but honestly, the good life. I like the good life. And, dude, a bottle of whiskey, like tonight. We're hanging out, chilling by the fire, outside. This makes a great Father's Day gift.
Makes a great Father's Day gift.
Now, there's a lot of people watching, and I know what they're thinking because they already know we all have our favorites in studio. But let me jump right in. You have a favorite. A lot of different tin cups out there. What's your favorite?
If I'm drinking it just on the rocks, I like the regular. If I'm drinking it in an old-fashioned, I like the rye.
Like the rye.
So,
okay.
yeah, and then we also made a drink named after Seth Feider called the Llama Lemonade.
Oh.
It's lemonade, iced tea, and tin cup regular. You order them 2 at a time.
Wow.
Yeah.
How about that one?
Yeah, Mike,
Yeah.
if Seth was to describe it, what word would he use?
Gotta
You know the
catch
answer.
him. Gotta catch him.
Decent.
Decent. Oh yeah.
For everybody
right.
out there, go look through
Oh, yeah.
Seth's posts.
Oh, yeah.
Every single day. Had a decent day. Need to catch him better.
Yeah.
The thing I appreciate about that though is Seth's social account. He definitely handles his own social account.
Yes, it does.
Because it's just so Seth. Like
Nobody else can
man
come
of
up with
very
that.
little words, but honest and to the point. You know what I mean? Caught him decent. Need to catch him better tomorrow.
Yeah,
Caught him decent.
I went through
you know.
while we
Yeah.
were driving home
Yeah.
from New York. I went through, just scrolled through every one of them. Had a decent day. Called him decent.
Caught him decent. Yeah, and he's leading angler of the year, so you know,
Yeah.
it's just very.
He's had a decent
like
year.
He's had a decent year. Could be
Not
better.
once did it say how much weight he caught, what position he's in. Nothing. No facts. Just decent.
That's right.
Let's go, boys.
That's right. This is going to be a great show. Let me remind you, if you are watching tonight, please, we want to hear from you. Hit us up. We want to hear from you. Hit us up on the IM right there at the bottom of your screen. If you're watching over on the social media accounts, we're going to be following them. Brian and Dave and I are going to be checking in at Ike Live Show. If you're over on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, we want to hear from you. Very, very important. If you're over on Facebook, where's that bag, Brian?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
It wasn't over here.
It's not over here. Okay. If you're watching over on Facebook, of course, you know the world-famous Ike Live gift bag. Like and share the feed, and you're going to be entered in a chance to win that bag. It's 22 pounds of sponsored products in there. You're going to love it. So if you're over on Facebook, like and share it.
22 pounds of used Senkos, right?
20, it's like a mystery bag. You never know what's going to be in there. Dirty diapers, Senkos, who knows?
Right. Yep.
Also, before we start the show officially, want to send a thank you to our military, active and veterans, men and women. Thank you guys for what you do. Policemen, firemen, EMT, doctors. Thank you guys. It's a crazy world. I want to mention something real quick. Speaking of military, I only told Brian this so far. I got to fish an open on the James River, and my first day partner talked to him on the phone. He sounded stoked, and I'm like, oh, cool, yeah. And I looked, and his number was what's that coastal right over there on the coast of Virginia? I can't remember. It's
Roanoke?
Not Roanoke. Right on the saltwater coast, where they build all the Navy ships over there. What am I trying to say?
Portsmouth?
No. Anyway, and so that's his number came up, and then I talked to the guy. I'm like, yeah, we'll meet in the morning. He was so excited. I was like, man, this is awesome. Got off the phone, and I was staying with my father-in-law, Roy. And Roy's like, yeah, is that your partner? I'm like, yeah, and yeah, he's from Virginia over here. And I said the name of the city. He's like, yeah, he's a SEAL.
Virginia Beach.
Virginia Beach. Yeah. He's like, he's a SEAL. And this is Roy saying this. I'm like, how made you say that? He's from Virginia. Rick Morris is from Virginia Beach, and he's a glassblower. Like, what the hell? How the hell did you make that assumption? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, he's more like a walrus, not a seal.
right.
No, I mean like a different, mammal.
Rick Morris.
Yeah, different kind of a mammal.
Right. So
other one.
So anyway, he gets in the boat. He's giant man. He's probably in his 30s. He's 220, big dude, definitely in shape. Gets in my boat. We start talking. He's just a nice guy. I could tell right off the get it. The energy was right. And we're sitting there waiting. We were the next to last boat. There were 224 boats. I was boat 223 the first day. So we sat forever. And finally, I was like, we started talking about stuff. And then, it came up in conversation. Like, what do you do? He's like, yeah, I'm a Navy SEAL over there. I'm like, motherfucker was right. How did he know that? But great dude. And, we've had special ops guys on the show before. We've had Navy SEAL before on the show. They're just the most laid back, like a couple times during the course of the day, it came up in conversation. I'm like, man, I'm so appreciative for what you're doing. Like, it's crazy what you guys go through. And to him, it's just normal. And he was the nicest normal dude, but he's a Navy SEAL, and you see that a lot with those special ops guys. So nice little story, but thank you guys for what you do. Brian, do we have Riz and Pete on tonight, or they're both?
I could. Rich will jump on.
Oh,
and tell
okay.
us about the
I didn't
DFL.
know. I didn't know.
I was waiting to hear from you.
Yeah, I didn't know if they were coming on or not. Okay, so we'll just play that one by ear.
Rich will jump on if you want.
Nah, well, let's play it by ear because here's the thing. He's driving, right?
Yeah, he was going to pull over and talk about the BFL.
No, let him drive. Yeah. Let him drive. We'll see how the show goes.
All right, cheers.
Cheers.
Let him drive.
Let him drive.
Let him drive.
Let him drive. That's right. Let him drive. Let him drive.
We ain't making it through one segment tonight.
That's how we kick people off the show. Let them drive.
Let him drive.
Let him drive. Let him drive. I want to jump right into it, Luke, if that's okay.
Sure.
And I mentioned it, but I want to get right into how impressed I am with Tin Cup getting involved in fishing in the outdoors. That's a big thing because, our sport, what's the best way to say it, Dave? We've talked about this a lot, but our sport for a lot of years has sort of always been semi-backwards, right? And mainstream aspect, not latching on, So when companies over the years like Toyota have latched on and big mainstream companies, it's a big thing, right? Go back in the history of Tin Cup and how did Tin Cup's association with fishing in the outdoors happen? How did all that start?
Well, my day job is I'm an area manager in Indiana for Proximo Spirits. We make a number of other items.
Yeah.
But we also make Tin Cup. And I was just kind of toying around with this idea of putting together a fishing team together, and I thought that, I knew what to do right, what to avoid, and I just thought that, we could really make a big deal about it.
Yeah.
And I mainly did it to get Dion back out on the road and to get Lawson fishing because Lawson's talent it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really close to Guido's, and Guido, as you know, was my hero in life growing up. And after he passed, I just thought now was the time.
Right.
I have a young daughter at home, Maya. If you're watching, she's 7 now. But at the time, your dad's on Ike Live, Maya Bell. At the time, she was only 5 when I was doing this, and it's kind of crazy that I'm here because you played a big part in this and you don't know. But Guido passed. We left the hospital. And it was right before the Classic. It was the second Classic that Jordan Lee won.
Yeah.
Where you said what you said about him.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there staring at a blank screen, and I'm trying to get my thoughts together. Obviously, I missed him. I mean, my hero in life is gone.
Yeah.
And I knew I needed to do something to get the Hibdons back in the sport.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at a blank laptop, and I'm needing some motivation. And then it was much like something out of a movie. You pop on and you said what you said.
Yeah.
And then I put my head down. I promise this is exactly how it happened, and I just typed the rest out. And I made the presentation to our corporate people in New Jersey. And they were very interested, but we got a little bit of money to try and do it in Indiana.
Yeah.
And then all the wonderful retailers in Indiana, all my customers, they bought a lot of Tin Cup, put it on the floor. Dion and I did multiple promotions in Indiana. And then all the Indiana BFL guys, the Indiana Federation guys, the people from Missouri that knew it was kind of a grassroots thing, they went out and bought the product. And so our company showed a direct correlation between getting involved with bass fishing.
They saw the results.
They did.
Yeah.
And then we added his son Lawson. Then we added Christine. And then we got signed a deal with MLF and FLW. Then after the first of the year, we signed a deal with BASS. And then it was like January 15th, I hired Matt Robertson, Seth Fighter, and Zach Birch. So we went from just Dion and I getting around to now we have 6 members. We have a really big announcement that Dion's going to make that we're very excited about. But our company loves it.
Awesome.
We have a really cool promotion, if you want, maybe we'll show later in the show, that we do in accounts that people that maybe they don't even fish, but they really enjoy it. And we've done activation at 2 elites, the Sabine River, where the ultimate crowd attendance was broken. And then we just got back from Neely Henry, and then we're going to have a booth at the Bassmasters Classic. So please come check us out if you'd like. And we just got a lot of things going.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I mean, you know, like Tin Cup is one of those products that makes a lot of sense for outdoorsmen. So I'm so glad you guys are involved. But dude, what a cool story how all those things come full circle. And I'm gonna wait for Dion to come on in the second segment because I want to retell that story from when those guys spent all that time with me over at the Bass University all those years ago. But Guido was very impactful for a lot of people. He was super impactful, and I can't tell you how many people I've spoke to over the years, and names come up. His name comes up a lot. He was for me wanting to pursue the sport. He was one of the big missing links. Like I was at that stage, you know, where it was like, should I keep going? Should I keep trying to do this? And like the motivation that he gave was super important. So it's interesting how all these things come full circle.
I have a question, Luke. What's your history with the Hibdon family? How do you go back with them?
Guido had just won the Bassmasters Classic, and I was 11 at the time. And there was an old tackle store in Plainfield, Indiana called Galleons. And back in the day when trade shows were the big deal, they had every pro that was anybody that was there. But he was the one that I wanted to talk to. And my dad doesn't fish. He's taught me everything I know about the liquor business, and he's a big reason of why I'm here. But I just, you know, Plainfield was a 50-minute drive from Terre Haute, where I grew up, and he's like, I was telling him the whole time, this is my guy. I'm talking to this guy. I had a picture of Bassmaster magazine, and when he walked by, I didn't even talk to him. I was so shy. Dad's like literally pushing me up to him. And we just became friends. I back in those days, you wrote letters. I wrote him. He wrote me back, so everybody knows the story. You know, he won the Classic, had a heart attack, and then he won Angler of the Year, not just once but twice back to back. I mean, that's just tough. And he's been my hero ever since, and kind of guided me along the way. You know, I fished pro 7 years and all that kind of good stuff, and just a big influence in my life. Taught me a lot about making baits and tricking up lures and all the stuff that the Hibdons are famous for. And you know, stuff that I still is near and dear to my heart today. So,
Do you have any of the letters? Wow, how about that?
That's awesome.
I have everything, and the molds that he made me, I would never sell them.
Do you by any chance have any of his old baits, like still in the bag or anything?
Oh yeah, and I have them, and there's certain colors that were never sold that he gave me that I never even fished with. So I have like tons of them stacked up that
I'm not going to give you my own open bag of blue Guido bugs. I was going to have one. I have one with the rotted cardboard and everything.
I'm good. I got plenty. But thank you.
Yeah. So around here, the Guido bug was a big thing. You know, the Guido bug and the baby Guido bug, which we threw a lot in cold water conditions, like almost like the original Ned rig. You know, we were Ned rigging basically with that thing way back when, and it wasn't called a Ned rig. But
what was the reason for the bizarre tag end on the front side of it?
Tag end?
Well, maybe it was the beat. They had like that. Wasn't that like a little skinny piece of plastic that stuck out like?
That's
like
part of the mold, right?
Is that what that like? Yeah. What was the reason?
It probably was just part of the mold.
Part of
I
the
don't think
mold.
it was.
Yeah. There were some baits
You always
that
bit it
had-
off. You know what I mean? You
Yeah, there
always
were
bit
some
it
baits
off,
that had
but-
like that little extra piece of plastic
Yeah.
that you would put on like a jig head to make it weedless, but I don't think the Guido Bug had that.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe my
I don't know.
memory's off.
I can tell you this: Guido was one of the first dudes that made a spinning rod cool,
Yep.
which was in the history of fishing. That's an important thing, because before I saw Guido, there were a few guys, but like,
Yeah, sissy sticks. They
yeah,
call them, right?
yeah. I mean, for the most part, dude, he made a spinning rod cool.
I got made fun of for carrying one because he was my hero.
For
the
carrying a
guys
spinning
would,
rod.
The guys would bust my chops. And now they make fun because they don't think I know how to throw one. I'm like, you guys have no idea
I got made
who
fun of.
I learned from.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I got
That's
ripped on for
crazy.
using a bait caster when we were kids. So
Yeah.
don't worry about
Yeah.
it. Same thing.
Yeah. Dave used the bait caster and had the prototype of the Whopper Plopper when he was 10, and we made fun of him. And
Shamed me out of all of it,
yeah,
dude.
yeah.
we
Dahl,
did.
Dahlberg's rolling in money right now, and
Backstroking.
Dave could be, and
Richie
he
Rich
got made fun of.
spitting
So.
the gold out of his mouth.
Yeah. So it's interesting. So I wish Becky was here for this because you and her could talk about the alcohol industry for a long time because she was in when we met.
Cheers to
Yeah,
that.
cheers to that. Another toast. Cheers to the alcohol
Cheers to
industry.
Becky and
Cheers
the
to-
alcohol
Cheers to Becky
industry.
and the alcohol industry.
Cheers to everything.
Brian, keep it coming.
All right.
I remember when we first met, she was working for Washington Wholesale's company in D.C.
Okay.
And she carried booze everywhere she went. Like, she never, like, if you would open her trunk at any given moment, she'd have like 30 bottles of liquor in there.
Oh, yeah.
Is that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's awesome.
That's exactly the way
Yeah.
my car looks and the truck looks. And
Yeah.
Yep, just carry stuff all the time, shirts, giveaways, whatever people want.
Yeah.
And then, so, yeah. So between all the tackle that you hoard and then
Yeah.
all the booze bottles of the giveaways, yeah, it's
Have you ever been pulled over and the state trooper or the officer looks in your trunk and sees this weird mix of fishing equipment and booze and said, what in the heck is going on here?
I did get pulled over one time, and I was working. I was in between Fort Wayne and South Bend where I was living.
Yeah.
And Brian and I, we rode over together. He rode my truck. Always have lures laying out. So I had a bunch of jigs that were in the passenger seat, and he had me. I was like 15 over. I mean, it was.
Yeah.
I was trying to get home. He's like, "This is 15 over. This is bad. But if you send me some jigs, I'll just." Yeah.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah,
So
he wouldn't tell me his name.
So he was a fish head.
Yeah. And,
Wow.
And
Quid pro quo.
And another guy came and met me in an account and picked him up. But yeah, I got out of a pretty substantial ticket.
That's
with
a
jigs.
scumbag. That's a
jig
scumbag
heads.
move. That's
Wow.
a scumbag bullshit too. 15 miles. Whatever.
Wow.
What a jerk off. Dude. I don't care, man. I hope you're watching. You know where I am.
Shout out to the
Scumbag.
police.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Dude,
awesome.
Cheers to that guy.
Think about this, dude. Imagine like the guys during Prohibition that ran for their lives with just a few bottles of what this guy carries truckloads of. Like, imagine if they could be catapulted forward in time, and they're like, wait a minute. Like, this normal dude gets to just drive around with this
Oh,
now?
yeah, they'd be distraught. They'd be
They
distraught.
were shot to death, like, when during these chases. They would, like, have barrel, with the Tommy guns and light them up, dude.
Yeah.
They died over this shit.
Oh, my God.
So that we can.
So that we can,
so
like,
that we
so
can.
we can tip some out for the homies that ain't here, right?
Cheers, cheers to those guys. Prohibition.
How do you think they'd feel about tipping some out?
The original gangsters.
Oh boy.
The original gangsters. If you're watching right now, we are big on the show, Brian the Carpenter, for making announcements. And we've, over our 7 years here, we've made some doozies, man, from what people are fishing to what leagues are doing to new Yamaha motors. Man, we've had so many over the years. But, Luke, we're going to make one tonight for the first time about something that an award that Tin Cup just received.
We're making a couple announcements.
We're making a
tonight.
couple, but I want to make this one first because this is a big thing.
Get in there.
In the fishing industry, like iCast is our big one, and when a lure or a rod or a reel wins Best of Show, it's a big deal because it's very prestigious, and thousands of people look at this stuff and they vote on it, they judge on it, they test it. But Tin Cup just won something pretty prestigious too. What's going on?
The World Whiskies Award, Tin Cup regular, 1 gold.
Yeah.
And we haven't announced that anywhere. So that was like a week and a half ago.
And they're the winners.
They are the winners.
Yes!
Yeah.
Come on.
Wow. That's a big deal. So is it
deal.
similar to iCast? Is there like a panel and there's submissions?
Oh, yeah.
And
I gotta hope it's got more cred than iCast voting does.
No, there's.
You just couldn't. You had to.
Come on.
you guys are bringing down everything tonight.
What'd I do?
Both you
I didn't
guys
say
are bad
nothing.
news?
What'd I say?
All right, sorry.
I didn't even say nothing yet.
Oh, okay.
Salute.
No, there's a panel, and there's these people with these very proficient taste buds.
That's awesome.
They walked through, and we won. So
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So we can call him champ.
Yeah. Well, it's champion.
He won a title.
Yeah. It's like elite trophy, bottle of tin cup, side by side. MLF trophy, side by side. That's kind of like a big win,
That's a big win. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Yeah, that's a big
Wow.
deal. I told this story, I think it was last show or the show before, but Becky and I went and watched the Kentucky Derby at a little bar in Glassboro. It's like a little wood fire pizza joint. They make great pizza. They got some great appies. We're over there watching the Kentucky Derby and hanging out, and we had a high top near the bar, so I can get a good view of what was over there. And I was kind of looking over there, and you can tell, the bottles that people are drinking, and you see, unopened, 3/4, unopened, 3/4. And going down that row, I told Brian this, there's 2 bottles of Tin Cup, and they were both gone.
Drained.
Yeah, drained. I'm like, man, that's awesome. It's
I was there the day before.
yeah, Brian was there the day before. That's the result. Him and Heather just killed those bottles. But it's awesome that Tin Cups is getting involved in fishing. What you guys? It seems like every week, or you've got new stuff going on. What else is coming?
we just launched our microsite on our Tin Cup website. We have a little bit of information on there from some of our anglers, but it's going to be kind of like a revolving door of tips and techniques from all of our anglers that are on our team, showcasing whatever brands they'd like to showcase from their sponsors, whatever technique. We got 6 anglers. They're all unique. They have certain techniques that they're known for, but it's just kind of truly whatever it is, their space to create.
Yeah.
We're even looking at getting some recipes on there, be it cooking. Christine submitted a chicken recipe that she did with Tin Cup whiskey.
Very
that
cool.
went over real well. But, of course, we're going to have drink recipes. We have a merch store that we just kicked off about a month and a half ago. AFCO is a big partner of us.
Nice.
And so we have some apparel on there that they can buy that's stamped Tin Cup Professional Fishing. They can get a net cater and I believe a samurai shirt, hoodie is what we have on there now. And then, of course, some hats. So we have that. We're really geared up about the Classic. We have a whole booth that we're bringing and going to be sampling. And then we're going to have our casting contest and all kinds of good stuff.
That's very cool. So whatever you do when this website goes live, don't let Seth write his own copy. Whatever you do, please have someone write Seth's copy for him. Because it'll just be.
Seth submitted some video submissions, and they've been very good.
Okay, the video.
So,
I would
very
say
good.
Yeah, they were decent.
They're decent. Now, I want to know, has Roland Martin tried Tin Cup whiskey yet? Because I have a feeling, Brian, Roland would love it.
Roland would love it.
Roland would love it. We got to get Roland a bottle of Tin Cup.
Yes.
Yeah.
I got a
Yeah,
message
Roland.
to him. Yeah.
So
I'll get him one.
Yeah, so just to fill you guys in, I know a lot of you have watched our social media feed last few days, but Brian and I got a chance, Dave, to go up and fish with Roland and Jimmy Houston in the course of a day and a half. It was a brutal trip because it was 7-hour drive there, driving like maniacs, fish with Roland, get dinner, go to sleep, wake up, fish with Jimmy, do some other stuff, drive back. So it was brutal, day and a half. It was very,
it blows me away that I when you tell me I see you guys with them, I make myself go back to when we were kids watching those shows, and to think that you two guys would be up there.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing, Luke. You said it. The first time that you went up and visited Guido as a kid. Yeah. That's what I felt like when I was in the boat with both those guys. Yeah. I'm a grown ass man now, but I felt like. I'm never short for words, hardly ever. And when I got with those guys, I was almost speechless.
Yeah, I bet.
Because I was remembering, how, like you said, how influential they were for us.
They hung on to every word, every minute of the new episode. You know?
You got to remember, back then, we're talking about the 80s. It's not like now where you can go to the web and there's
watch
a
everything.
bazillion pieces of information. Dude, we got home from school or on the weekends, and it was those two dudes.
And TNN.
And Bassmaster and Orlando and a couple other dudes,
Yeah.
Bill. They were
it's all on TNN.
Yeah, they were what we watched, and they shaped our lives. It was like the hobby we loved, and so to be out there with those guys was pretty surreal.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
It was pretty surreal. But the one thing, I learned a lot about Roland that I didn't know. And one is that he's a big whiskey fan. So we got to get Roland a bottle of Tin Cup. I know he'll love it.
I'll send him a bottle.
Yeah,
for sure.
we got to get him a bottle.
He's a rye guy.
Yeah, he may be. But here's the one big thing. So you watch these guys, right? And you watch them on TV, and they've both done such a good job in branding themselves, right, over the years. But they are the biggest fish heads I've ever seen, and that's something you cannot fake.
Nah.
And it came through so loud and clear.
Oh,
like when we fished with both of them, dude, they just wanted to fish.
Yep.
Like they were filming and they were doing the product stuff and all that stuff we see on TV, but dude, they were fishing like balls to the wall fishing. They're in their 80s.
Roland's 81 years old. Jimmy's 76. Neither one of them sat down a minute.
They did not sit. Like
Not a second.
There were times when
Jimmy did actually.
There were times when there was no
Yeah,
camera and no, nothing like that, and they just want that
Nonstop.
bite.
Yeah.
They want that hook set.
Yeah.
You know.
When we first got there, we got there at 2:00 on Wednesday. They had
Yeah.
already been out fishing. They came back to the ramp to meet up with us.
Yeah.
And Roland's sitting there. We're all sitting around. Doesn't he pick up a rod and make a cast?
Oh yeah.
You
Oh
know what I
yeah.
mean? Like how many casts has he made? He still had to make a cast at the boat ramp while we're standing around waiting for everything to happen.
You can tell.
Yeah.
You can tell. Like being a fish head, there's no lying there. There's no gray. It comes through loud and clear. So that was really cool to see that. But I was the other thing I was impressed by is how much of normal dudes they were. You know what I mean? Like when we were like hanging out with them.
Yeah.
And that was pretty mind blowing too. It's good to see that those people weren't. A lot of times you see people and like then when you meet them, you're like, but they were.
Yeah,
genuine.
wish I didn't meet him.
Yeah, they were. They were genuine, as Guido was, and we're gonna have a lot more Guido stories later. But Guido was. I got a chance to fish with him too.
Yeah.
Which was same thing. I was behind him at a pro-am, like, you know what I mean. But he was cool, laid back, nicest guy in the world. Normal guy, which is nice. Let me remind everybody, if you're watching, if you've got questions or comments, please hit us up on the IM. Brian, who's checking the IM tonight? Are you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I got questions and comments.
Oh, you do? All right. You
Yeah.
want to let a couple through?
Well, yeah, we're going to talk. Oh, so who was the bigger partier, Roland or Jimmy?
Roland.
Yeah, for sure.
Roland's a bigger partier. Yeah.
But do you want to go on? I got a couple stories from that
Yeah.
trip.
Yeah. What else you got? Yeah.
Well, just how that first day unfolded with the three of us out there. And,
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we were Mike and Roland are both filming for their YouTube stuff. And I'm like, man, we got to get that picture where all three of us are holding a smallmouth.
right.
And, we weren't putting any fish in the well. We're trying to do that. We just really wanted it to happen for real.
Yeah.
It was the end of the day. They start doing their outros and catch a fish and do a practice outro or something. And Mike gets one and he's like, all right, I'm gonna wrap this up. And it's like, oh man, I just wanted that to happen. And as Mike's, doing his outro, Roland hooks up. And I'm like, oh, no, it's on. The pressure's on. And Mike starts yelling, "Bro, you got to get one." I'm like, make a cast. I was just dialed. I'm like, just tink.
No.
And load up. It's just that second that I got that little, I can still feel it. Load up. We both get them in the boat. It was freaking awesome. Everybody's screaming and hollering. We each, we all caught one at the same time. They did their outro videos and
They were all 3 to 4 pounders.
Yeah.
Too, which was awesome.
Yeah.
How many times in your life, Bri, have you ever had that moment happen in your favor, man? Like, you needed it to happen and it did.
I did.
Like you willed it somehow.
I needed
man.
that win. I'm gonna call that one a win.
Yeah.
That's a lot of pressure.
It was a lot of pressure, and it was very cool. It was very cool, and it was a great. So even though like both Roland and I sort of already did an outro, we just totally that was like the moment.
Oh yeah.
And we like redid it because it was great. It's hard to catch 3 to 4 pounders at the same. Even if you're on the St. Lawrence, which is one of the best fisheries in the world, it's still hard to do that.
Yeah.
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 That was cool.
And shout out to Will Kloot from Mohawk Trails
Oh
Guide
God,
Service.
yeah. Shout out to Will, big time.
Yeah.
That place is special. So Thousand Islands, Dave, you've been there. You've seen, You've seen it on TV. Everybody knows about Thousand Islands. But that stretch that Will guides on, which is, let me say this right, Brian, an Indian reservation
Mohawk
stretch.
Indian, I believe.
Mohawk reservation. So it's like, best way to describe it, it's like Thousand Islands, the regular Thousand Islands fishery on steroids. Because the lack of pressure.
Yeah, it's Thousand Islands private property.
Right, Thousand Islands private property.
Yeah, we're trespassing on the Thousand Islands.
Right,
that's what I'm talking
right. Right, and it was pretty special.
It's golf course pond version.
It's the Aberdeen of Thousand Islands.
Yeah,
that's right.
Pretty special place. But yeah, that was incredible. Yeah.
So after that catch, and you guys wrapped up your videos, we're strapping all the rods down, and we're getting ready to run.
Yeah,
and Rowan's like, "Anybody like to drink?"
Yeah. Well, we were in a, it was a big deal even for Roland, right? Because it was like we had this great day, but then all of a sudden this magic thing happened at the very end. Like we were ready to pull the plug, and so we were all just like, like basking in the glory, like yes, and we're just sitting there like smiling, and man, this was a great moment. And even Roland,
Oh yeah.
And then he's like, "You guys like to drink?" And he said that, and I was like, "Yeah." And in my mind, when he said that, I was still kind of like buttoning everything up, getting everything together to head back, and I'm thinking that's cool. We'll go and hang out at dinner.
Right.
And we'll do this celebration and toast. And then, Brian, what happened?
He reaches in his pocket and pulls out 3 airplane bottles.
Bottles didn't even have labels
in his
on
pocket,
them.
like the whole day fishing with.
Yeah, and it was.
But it gets better.
Yeah, it's crazy. So he pulls them out. And the other bizarre thing is, so they're normal little nips, but the labels are peeled off. There's no labels. I'm like, and so you're with Roland. Nobody's saying no to this.
Yeah.
And I want to celebrate this moment. So, so we went ahead and drank them, and and then Roland's like, he's like, "Hey man, make sure you put the cap back on those bottles. I need those bottles back."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Okay, cool."
Oh, he's refilling back.
Oh
at the place.
yeah. So put the cap back on. Gave it to him.
Pocket canteens. Dude.
Yeah,
Come on.
Yeah, but that was great. That was great.
Yeah, and then after dinner, they resurfaced. we went to dinner, and afterwards we're standing outside. It's me, Mike, Roland,
Getting bit by mosquitoes.
Yeah, Justin, your camera guy, and Jimmy's leaving. I was like, is there a liquor store near our hotel? And he's like, "Want a drink?" He pulled out 2 more bottles out of his magic pocket.
So good. So good. But again, it's like, Roland's a regular dude. You know what I mean? Roland's a regular guy.
Wow.
And
that's amazing.
It's so nice, when you see that. When someone you've looked up to all those years, and you finally meet him and spend some time with him, and you realize he's a regular guy. He's a regular dude. You know what I mean? It's so nice when that happens. Not the other way around. Because I've had it happen the other way around a few times too. I think we've all had. So
yeah, but he's a multimillionaire, and he still fills up road sodas rather than like
fills up road sodas. Loves to fish. Won't stop casting. Likes pulling back on anything. I'll tell you another story, and this again is why I got new appreciation for him, because this is a very Jersey thing. But we were fishing, and we started going up this creek a little bit, and it was more of like a largemouth creek. And, we were catching a few largemouth, but it really wasn't a deal. And we started getting bored, and we were about to head back out for smallmouth. But we keep seeing these carp, and they're like literally, dude, they're like up there. Tankers. And I mean legitimate 20s to 40s. I'm not kidding you.
Tanks, bro.
Like, dude, those that are like that wide, that long, like the real giants. They're big, giant commons. And, like, first thing I do is like, oh, man, I love to catch that thing. And Roland's like, yeah, me too. Fucking next thing I see, Roland flings over there to go to snag the thing. And I'm like, yes! So now, all of a sudden, me and Roland are having this snagging. Yeah. We're trying to snag a carp. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he chimes in like, oh, yeah, man, this would be a great show. Yeah, me and you, we could get these treble hooks and put big lead on them, and his mind's working on. He wants to do a show on snagging common carp, and I'm like, yeah, but man, we can't do that because there's like, the other half of the world. This is like they're like babies. You can't snag babies.
Yeah, clubbing seals, dude.
Yeah, but I'm like, damn, he's one of us, man. Like this is unreal.
Dude, for Newton Creek, I had a big treble hook pulled open with a slip sinker on top of it just for that, man. Get spooled out by him.
So we never did catch one. I finally, I had a DT6, and I finally made the perfect cast and rode over one's back, and it just went funk, and he went zing, 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 and come off. And I'm like, I was disappointed. I reeled it back. Dude, I had a scale on my hook, like as big as like the top of a soda can, dude.
That big,
it was big.
It was incredible, but what a cool experience. Yeah, cool
That's
experience.
awesome, dude.
And then Jimmy the next day, cool experience too. And again, very laid back.
Hey, Jimmy talks circles around Mike.
He will not, I mean, he just talks.
He talked you under the table.
He talked me under the table. And again, I was a little intimidated, so I'm in the back of the boat. Roland was in my boat, which was cool.
It was awesome.
But then I got to go as a co-angler in Jimmy's boat. I got to hop in his boat, which was cool too. And it was nice. I'm glad I did it that way.
Yeah.
Because I got to see both sides of it, you know. But
where are you at when he's with Jimmy?
In Mike's boat.
Following the camera?
Dashed against the rocks and everything.
You dashed him?
Dashed up against the rocks.
So one of the things I wanted to do, so like in Jimmy's boat and when Roland was my boat, there were some big moments for me. One was to land their fish for him. And I had an opportunity to land a big one for Roland and a big one for Jimmy. Yeah. And that was cool. Like laying my hands on one for those guys, which was unbelievable. And like I remember when I fished with Guido as an amateur, I landed some for him, and I've had cool landing experiences for a lot of guys over the years. But that was cool landing their fish. But then when I was with Jimmy, I was like, man, what else? What else can I do? That would be a first. Because think about all the co-anglers that he's had over the years. Guy has tournament fished for 50 years, for crying out loud. He's drawn pros and co-anglers. I'm like, how can I do firsts in the back of this guy's boat? So I ended up seeing one, like literally it was, Luke, where you're sitting, his boat, I'm sitting in the back, and all of a sudden I look over and I spied one. I spied it was a big male. It was like 4-pound body, but probably like 3 pounds. I'm like, it's just sitting there. I'm like, sitting on the bed. I'm like, throw the bait over there. I'm like, he just, smallmouth doesn't even do it. He just, I'm like, oh my God, I wish bed and fish were like that all over the place. Set the hook on this thing, reeled in, and I'm holding it up, and Jimmy's, commenting on it like, oh, that was awesome. He's doing his thing for his TV show. Yeah, Mike saw that one on the bed, and, that's a male. And I grab it, and as I grab it, it's a male, so it starts pissing, and, look, it's a male because he's pissing. And I just go, anybody ever drink pee in your boat? I turn the male to my face and just sort of go, ah.
You got golden showered.
Yes, I got golden showered by the smallmouth. Big first in Jimmy Houston's boat.
Oh,
drank smallmouth pee on Jimmy Houston's
You better
boat.
hope it's pee.
Did you really?
I hope it was pee. Yeah, I did. And then the second.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, the second. And hopefully that makes the show.
You were that starstruck.
Oh, yes, big time. And then the second first was.
I have so many comments I can't make.
And then after that, we had already caught like God knows how many. We were in a great area there for a while, and we both caught probably 30 at that point. And we were getting ready to make a move, and I thought it was a good time. I said, Jimmy, has anyone ever breakdanced on the back of the boat here? And I took out his back seat and did a little breakdancing segment, which was great because that was a first too. So, how many people can say they did some breakdancing and drank pee in the back of Jimmy Houston's boat?
And did both of them on the same day.
Same day.
Yeah.
Right? So
I'm hoping you're the only one.
Yeah. Let's toast to that one too.
Gotta toast that.
Toast to giving a bass an old fashioned.
Yes, to pee and breakdancing. Jimmy Houston. Smallmouth plumpkin.
Oh my goodness gracious!
Check the comments now.
That was the happiest male bass ever, dude. He was just like, "Yo, dude, you're never gonna believe what happened there."
The bass swam back.
Like you're never gonna believe what this dude did for me.
It's awesome.
So what time is corporate checking in?
Two great stories. Yeah. But it was such a cool experience. But those guys really did for all of us. It was an important part of as a kid who we were. I want to jump back. So
before you end that,
I
just wanted to actually tell Dave this. So the second morning, Roland comes walking down the boat ramp as we're getting out there, and I forget what predicated it. What the heck's that noise?
It's thunder. There's a little storm going past it.
Like this air.
Oh, that's your mic, Dave. That's air conditioning on your mic.
Yeah.
So anyhow, Roland does 40 40 push-ups and 100 sit-ups every morning. Oh my gracious!
I don't know that. It might be across the way too. It might be Luke.
I don't know.
Nope, that's you, Dave.
Dave, you're beatboxing.
Like Vader.
I didn't know you could do that.
It's so bizarre.
That's awesome. Good for you, Dave.
Oh my gracious!
All right, what do you got, Brian?
Oh no, I was saying Roland does 40 push-ups and 100 sit-ups every single morning.
That's what he said.
81 years old.
That's what he said, which is I hope he does because that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
He does that. That's
Dang.
incredible.
It stretches,
Yeah.
does stuff.
Yeah.
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 All right, carry on.
No, but I wanted to jump
Yeah,
back.
I'll lean over here.
Luke, besides Guido, you know, you're a kid, you're growing up, you're watching bass fishing. Were there other guys that were influential for you?
Oh,
at that
sure.
time?
I mean, we grew up in the golden era. I mean, you had Nixon and Clun and Cochran and all those guys. Yeah, I looked up to all those guys for sure.
It was a cool era, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I think I don't know. I think we maybe grew up in the best era, maybe.
Do you feel bad for the kids now? I mean, all they have is the Googans.
Oh, I don't know. It's just different.
They have more information. They have infinitely more information.
It's so much information that we never had.
Well, how old are you?
I'll be 45 in June.
Oh, you're not far behind us.
Yeah,
you saw what we saw.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you had to learn it from a bass club, or you had to wait if somebody wouldn't show you, or you had
a seminar was our YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
You had to wait on Bassmaster or magazine to come out. Yeah. So.
And you took the same route that we took too, right? You went up through the club level and the federation, and you kind of got involved in the sport that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. I miss that too. You know, that part. It's still around. You know, we still have the Bass Nation, and we still have the federation.
It's not the same.
But it's not the same. Like that back then was the golden era of all that.
And it's not new.
Right.
What you miss really is you miss how new it was.
Right.
Learning, you know, getting that information.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Putting it to use.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, I'll tell you what I wish I did have, what these kids have now, is high school and collegiate bass fishing. Oh, man. I couldn't imagine.
Yeah.
That would have been great to have.
I still think the best thing for a high schooler is to be a co-angler in the Federation, be a co-angler in the BFL. Get out there and get after that.
Is a good way to
I really
see
think,
it.
I really think that's the best way to see it, because you get to watch someone who's made the bigger commitment. You get to see their good choices and their bad choices, and it's a class.
Yeah.
From beginning to end. I don't think you can co-angle long enough until you jump into the big league. You know.
Yep. I agree. Luke, there was a time in your life, I think, when you wanted to fish full time. You wanted to do this.
Yeah.
Walk us through that. You were fishing Federation stuff. You started fishing opens.
Yeah. I started fishing the Federation, the Indiana Bass Federation, when I was 17.
Yeah.
We have one of the larger federations at the time, and my first year I won Rookie of the Year. I think I'm still the youngest guy to do that. And then 2 years later, I won the Indiana Bass Federation Classic, and I think I'm still the youngest guy to do that.
Dang.
And that was on the same stretch of Ohio River that George Cochran won the Classic on.
Wow.
And then after that, graduated college and then went pro. So my first tournament, of all things, was on Lake of the Ozarks. So it was the year that Moorhead won on a buzzbait. That year when the water got muddy and all that, and they all went shallow eating those shad, and I got a check and fished for about 7 years.
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome. Lake of the Ozarks, of all the years I've fished, that's one I've never fished a tournament on.
Oh, really?
Nope, I just kept missing it. Like, remember they had a big tournament there like the year before I turned pro, and then they'd have something else on there, and I can't remember, but all the years I fished, I've never fished an event on Lake of the Ozarks.
No. It's a great lake.
Yeah. Table Rock, yes. Lake of the Ozarks, never made it for one. But
that's one of the lakes in the Roland Martin intro song, dude.
It is. Yeah.
He fishes Lake of the Ozarks.
That's right.
He fishes Table Rock, you know.
And Table Rock, yeah. How's it go again, Dave?
I don't know, dude. I know Table Rock's after Ozark.
Table Rock's after Ozark?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I think it goes Bull Shoals and the White River. He ain't never going to stop.
Yeah, that's the end. That's after Table Rock.
Yeah.
See, that's the whole thing. And we're not crapping on you younger guys. We love you, but you don't have any shows like really with theme songs. Like we grew up on all those theme songs, dude. You'd be humming them in your mind while you're fishing.
Oh yeah,
they were
painful.
so good.
Yeah,
all of them. They were all so good. It's incredible. Brian's, what are you doing? Reading IMs?
No, listening to the sounds of the drinks it's pretty awesome. Sounds great.
The ice, the metal.
It's a water feature, dude. Give me a break.
Yeah. Speaking of water feature, Dave, I had a note here to call you out on this stuff, and I got to see it. I got to see some. You showed me that day we kayak fished a few weeks ago. You showed me some of it. But amazing craftsmanship at home going on.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about this, because I've seen the pictures. Brian, we might be able to. You have the technology to pull up a couple of Dave's.
All right, so
Have them describe it.
for people listening, what I've been doing, like we live really close to the Delaware River, super high tide swing. So every single day, new wood's getting brought up to the shore and taken back off, driftwood.
Yeah.
So what I've been conceptualizing for years is a water feature, and I wanted to make one that. You ever been up in Naaman's Creek from the riverside?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's really the only wild creek that kind of dumps into the Delaware River where you see the rocks, the traditional looking stuff. So I really wanted to create something that looked realistic.
Right.
And I have every size stone. I have ones that, took me, I have 200
So
pounders.
the rocks are actually from
They're all Delaware River, at river winds. Went down the steep embankments and humped up about 40 milk crates full.
Yeah.
Maybe about 20 loose ones.
Okay.
And trash picked the liner. That's what started the whole thing. I found like one of those big liners and trash picked it.
Wow.
Went from there,
So all the materials in this build, zero cost.
With exception to the pump.
The pump, okay.
The pump, the two, about $100 in that stuff. But other than that, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool, man.
Yeah. So, and like my stepdad had a hunting camp up in upstate Pennsylvania. So like I would go through those creeks and they don't look like what you see people do. If it's not a melt off, like they're mostly just little pools with all these giant stones around them, and you can tell where the wash spots. I tried to make it look as realistic as I could.
Yeah.
And put about a week into it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Well, I can't wait to get over and see it in person.
Yeah, for sure, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've been building like a lot of driftwood stuff, a lot of lamps.
Yeah. Saw the lamp with the Bigfoot switch.
Picture frames. Yeah.
Very cool.
I had an old. You know what the Bigfoot was? Do you remember like in John boats, like you had like this? It was it Lee Murray? I don't even know what pro was on there, but John Murray was on there.
I don't remember.
Anyway, it was like a lever that you put your rear trolling motor on when you were up front.
Yeah.
Your front trolling motor.
Yeah.
I had one still in the box.
Okay.
And remember that lamp I showed you with the tin cup next to it?
Yeah.
Well, the Bigfoot's the on and off switch.
Okay.
Yeah, and that all the rope that I wrapped it in, and that was all river rope.
Found
The
it
stump was
laying on the river.
all the steel, all the metal, all of it's river.
Wow.
Except to the bulb and some of the wires.
Yeah. It's very cool, man.
Yeah. Went to
Very
YouTube
cool.
and became a certified electrician.
Wow.
All
right, now, Brian, the one thing, so on our 7-hour drive up and back, we had a lot of time in the truck together. We were actually giving you a lot of props. We were marveling at the craftsmanship because this is pretty cool.
I saw it. It looked good.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
I got a little bit.
And the one thing though that Brian sort of hinted at and joked at is the worrying about the electricity side.
No, so
of
what,
all this
what
going up in flames.
No, I know.
possibly.
No, I know. No, what I didn't do back then. He always goes back to this trolling motor on me, and I get it. I did. I melted our trolling motors when I tried to hype them a
Back
little
to
bit.
back.
Yeah, I smoked. What I didn't understand was soldering and insulation. And you can't just wrap wires together and put electric tape around them, guys, in case you're watching.
And especially when you switch the polarity,
Yeah, well,
because that's what happens.
That'll catch you.
That'll get you when
Every time.
when you click the
Polarity?
The alligator clip on there, and it goes tss, pop. The big puff of cloud of smoke comes off it.
Sorry, Dave. I love you, but I used to be an electrician, so I.
So you're not worried about any of the.
No.
Okay.
no, I got my skills up.
Yeah.
No, and I'll tell you what made me
Never
become
give
a.
up, right?
I'll tell you what made me become a YouTube electrician, dude. So listen to this. My dryer went on me, right? So I'm like, all right, it's got to be the on-off switch. It's the easiest thing. So I'm walking into Home Depot to see if for a 15-year-old dryer, I'm going to go find a switch, right? Well, I'm walking in, a guy's putting on his stupid mask, and he's got like a van that's, appliance repairman. So I'm like, trying to. So I see him. I'm like, oh, dude. So I explained to him what's going on, and he's like, as he probes me a little bit, I don't know like what I'm really talking about. So I described a dryer not turning on with like a sound, and I just felt like a dumb asshole. You know what I mean? Like, I know he's looking at me like, how'd this happen to me? I'm just trying to get in there. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I was like, it wasn't the switch. It cost $500 to fix. I bought a new dryer, but what I wound up doing.
Wait, did you spend $500 on the old piece?
No.
You got out.
I went and got a multimeter, and I learned how to use a multimeter on YouTube, and I diagnosed it all the way to the timer. Timer's $125, and the new dryer's $500.
How long did that take with dirty clothes?
What's that?
Clean out of the
what?
How long did this process take?
2 days. I was done the whole thing.
Okay.
You know, I just hung dry whatever was sitting in the washer. But no.
Oh, right,
So anyway, you know, where was I getting at? Yeah. Anyway, I learned a little bit of electricity. Yeah, you know, amperes and the current and voltage, and had to figure it all out because I really felt, you know, most of the time in people, you know, like you talk to people, there's things you're not supposed to know with what you do.
Yeah.
But I felt like a total asshole making like the sound that my switch made when I turned it on. Like it wouldn't work. You know what I mean? I'm like, it just goes click. You know, I'm like, oh my God. Like I just felt stupid. You know what I mean? I'm like, I got to up my electric game a little bit. And I did.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, we're hoping your barn doesn't go up in front.
It ain't going to, man.
Okay.
Hey, remind me, Dave, before the show ends tonight, you know how you said I got a win on Wednesday with Roland? They got me back on Thursday.
Okay.
But I'll let you keep going.
Yeah. I ain't got nothing else to say.
There you have it.
We'll get back to it.
Yeah, let me remind everybody, please hit Brian up there on the IMs. We're going to patch a couple through sooner or later. Brian, got anything good coming through? You want to patch one through?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Why don't we look at pictures of Dave's place?
Okay, let's see what Dave's got here.
Yeah, I'll try to talk you
Couple
through
of,
it. So that's just a picture of the side picture of my garage, and you can kind of see that lamp. He brings it up big. So to the left of the door, that was just a big hunk of driftwood that I found. Well, that's an older picture. That's the backyard. That's like one of the okay, there we go. So you see the water feature bottom right.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
Got a lot of driftwood mixed into it, and it's only a 60 gallon. It's only a 60 gallon like pond in there. It's not big, but you know, you walk around, they're not these giant bays that, you know, that everyone puts in.
Do you have goldfish or koi in there yet?
I don't have anything in there.
Okay.
It funks it up a little bit. I might put a bass in there, catch a fry, feed them guppies till October, let them go as a 6-incher in the lake.
There you go.
Yeah, I might do that.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, no, I mean, you know, it you know, everyone's always like, oh, you gotta teach my husband how to do this. I'm like, listen, lady, like this, like this is a hobby. Like, you know what I mean? Like you can't put that on him. You know what I mean? Like you better be ready to. Like the way you did with that bass, if you're going to, you know what I mean? Like, you're going to make them do this. Like, this is a hobby, lady. I'm 4 or 5 hours a day out there playing around.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
I don't know. Is there other pictures I'm looking for? Is that good? Is that good?
There's a whole bunch of others. She, you know, she's proud of the yard. She's always putting it on the Facebook, you know. That's all right, you know.
All right.
Yeah. But my goal actually, I'm okay to get laughed at with this, but I really want to get in Better Homes and Gardens. That's my goal.
Wow.
Is to submit. But
That's a nice goal.
I need about another 20 species of perennials in the ground before I can even begin.
Well, I think you could be in there right now because your backyard's beautiful. You guys have done a great job.
Yeah, no, there's inside stuff. Like there's so many different layers. Like I don't have layers, and that's kind of, you know, like I didn't know what I was doing 13 years ago when I started this. And the problem is I have so many things that are mature now, yet it's very hard to get things to grow with them, you know.
Well, the hard thing to get right, and I'm not an expert on this at all, but like Becky's mom's a master gardener, and I know a little bit. And their backyard is. They have a smaller backyard. It's gorgeous, but the mix of hardscaping and soft in the plants, that's balance is you have to get right. You know, and if you can get that right, it's amazing.
Yeah.
You know. So
yeah, I just went for like all colors. You know, I just wanted it to be a total everything flowers. I don't have any other than the arborvitaes, which are like those green looking missile things for people that don't know. Like everything else flowers. I don't have anything that doesn't flower.
Nice.
That was the whole goal.
Cool.
You know?
Scott on YouTube wants you to spell chrysanthemum.
Yeah, good
Try
luck.
it, Dave.
I don't even know how to read a tape measure, Scott. Like for me, it's like if I'm doing like 1 1/4 inch and the next one, it's just I just say 1 1/4 inch and 1, and that's the cut I use. I don't know what the next thing is, you know.
5/16.
I know, but I don't even know what that means. Like why? Like, you know what I mean? Like I don't know. So I'm sorry. I even watched like that stuff for dummies on YouTube, and I still can't comprehend it. So I just made my own measurement system up. That's all.
Yep, that's exactly right.
And I wind up cutting 3 times.
Yep.
Yeah.
Burning through trolling motors. Left and right.
No, that was a long time ago.
I know.
I'm a better man.
It'll get better, Dave. It'll get better.
It'll get better.
Luke, I want to. Is it pretty rewarding that you've been able to marry 2 things in your life together, being a fisherman and loving fishing, and working with Tin Cup to create this program? That's got to be pretty rewarding.
Oh yeah, it's extremely. Everybody in the liquor business asks me if I'm gonna fish again and all that kind of good stuff. I'm like, well, I don't know. I might fish some opens, but I truly love my day job.
Yeah.
Got the best boss in the world, Emmett King, who's been a big supporter of this and lets me go and do different things to make this happen. But I had his blessing before I put it together. But no, it's been extremely rewarding. I mean, obviously, I love the fishing industry, I love the liquor industry, and to marry them, and then to have the anglers that we have, and for them all to be catching them like they are, and like I said, hopefully, Lawson's gonna make some history and do some great things that we think that he can do, and then you throw in this announcement that we're going to make here shortly. Yeah, it's unbelievable. I mean, you just
cool.
kind of walk around, and I'm here. You just walk around like no kidding. I had a dream Monday that I was doing the Ike Live show, and then I woke up. I was like, no, you're really doing this. So it's like I'm just walking around like every day, just smiling. I mean, it's great, and I truly believe we're just getting started at Tin Cup.
Yeah.
We got and the way all of the anglers have, I get Facebook messages, and Instagram, and all that stuff, and they're thanking me for this, or can you send a T-shirt here, or whatever, and it's just great to see what they've done with the brand, and how the whole fishing industry's gotten behind the brand, and I think corporate has seen that.
Yeah.
And it's incredible. I mean, when you sit there was a time there was an MLF going on, or I'm sorry, a Big Five going on, and an Elite going on, and I had 5 anglers
Wow.
that were fishing under the Tin Cup flag, as I happened to be looking at a new sales sheet that we showed our sales force of everything that we have to offer in fishing. But it's been great, and as much as the fishing industry's gotten behind it, the liquor industry's really gotten behind fishing, because entertainment in the liquor industry for years and years and years has been nothing but golf.
Right.
And that's great if you're a golfer, and I golf a little bit. But there's a whole bunch of guys that fish, especially in the Deep South, and they have really gravitated to this program.
It's so nice to see that, because we've touted the number for years here on the show, but and I don't have the specifics, but the number of people that sport fish in the U.S. is like double the number of golfers and tennis players. It's like double the number
combined.
So combined.
Mm-hmm.
So it's so nice to see a company like Tin Cup say, hey, there are like millions and millions of people that love to fish. This is a viable market. Yeah. And then to see results, to have them see the results, that's awesome. That's awesome. It's a great thing.
But you know what? He doesn't. You're very selfless. You're a facilitator, and the opportunity that you obviously enjoy, like you enjoy giving these guys opportunities.
Yeah, I did it all.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
But
it
was a hard thing, because we've dealt with it for years in the fishing industry, which is like all these companies that you can sit back and say, man, your product would benefit from being associated with fishing, right? Like, look at our numbers here. Look at the participants. Look at the demos. Look at the age. Look at the and it's hard to break through, because fishing has this stereotype of being, it's a redneck sport,
bunch of bubbas with
or
their
it's a bunch of
Budweiser.
bubbas, or it's boring, or it's this, and to see a mainstream company break through that barrier, dude, that's a great thing. That's exciting.
But they got the right guy in the right place.
Right, they had you, which is important.
They do, but Proximo, we're the 6th largest supplier in the world. But we're very open-minded to new ideas.
Yeah.
And the guy that runs our company, Mr. Michael Keys, he welcomes sales, bringing ideas to marketing. and so on and so forth and back and forth, because it does take both sales and marketing to make a brand.
Yeah.
And a great example, the PBR with Pendleton Whiskey. We're the title sponsor of the PBR. We have a whole traveling circus that follows the PBR around. There's multiple other sponsorships that we do, and we're just a company that is open to doing new things, trying to find stuff that people are passionate about, and I feel very fortunate to work for them.
Yeah.
And I don't know that another liquor company that we could have done what we've done as quickly as what we've done it. I mean, this program's not even 2 years.
Yeah.
It got greenlit June 24th, 2019. And so we're not even 2 years there.
Yeah.
So just kind of a combination of them welcoming the idea. And yeah, I had to have some stats to back it. And Dion and I sold it, and like I said, all the Federation guys got out and bought the brand, and now we've got 6 anglers, and we're just doing all kinds of things. So,
Awesome. That's awesome. And
dude, he just mentioned bull riding. You will get addicted to watching that, dude. Once you start following it, and
Bull
you start
riding?
following the guys, bro.
Oh yeah.
It's like you know how like first time you watched MMA.
Yeah.
These bull riders, dude.
Oh, yeah.
It is no joke.
Oh,
if
no,
you
they're
look at their
serious.
injury list,
Yeah.
they are
Oh, no, they're
bangers, dude.
serious.
well,
It's fun, man.
We just struck a deal with UFC and Jose Cuervo.
So
We make proper 12 for Conor McGregor.
Do you?
We make a whiskey for Florida Georgia Line. We make a whiskey for Jason Aldean. So there's a lot of cool things that our company does. And then I was like, why don't we look at bass fishing? They're like, yeah, let's see what happens. Got a little bit of money. Indiana was a test market.
Yeah.
And now we're doing all these things in a very short amount of time, and everybody's really happy with it. The sales force is happy with it. Our customers are happy with it. Yeah, we just got a lot of things working right now.
So you like southwestern Indiana? Like where'd you grow up?
I Terre Haute, Indiana. Larry Bird, Indiana
Okay.
State. So, well, Larry's from French Lick, but yeah, I grew up in Terre Haute, Indiana.
Okay.
So,
That's where the Christmas story took place, right? Terre Haute, wasn't that where?
no,
No? I thought that's where.
I think
You'll
we were
shoot your eye out.
He mentioned Terre Haute in the thing. That's the reason why. That's the only thing I know about that
Yeah.
Indiana.
Yeah.
Shoot your eye out. And the timing was good for this too.
Oh, it's perfect.
You know, like again, I'll get back to a lot of negatives of this whole madness of Corona, but I think getting people in the outdoors.
Yeah.
You know, again, people getting back to the good life, just enjoying a bottle of whiskey. I think that's been good, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes,
sales didn't suffer for you guys during this at all, right? Right.
No.
Right. Yeah.
No.
Like boat sales, camper sales, whiskey sales.
I was
They're
late to
good.
the whole whiskey scene. Brian was on to it years ago, and I just drank
Yeah.
beer. Like,
Yeah.
I'm new to it. Like I'm only a couple years in. you know.
Yeah. Yeah, you
I
started
love it.
making the conversion. You're drinking more whiskey now than you are beer, aren't you?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
this stuff.
Thank you, Dave.
Yeah. That's
Yeah, I figured I'd wait till 50 before I completely.
Oh, that's awesome. Brian, I think
Yes.
you want to take a little break and then
That would be a great thing to do.
let's do that. Let's take a little break because I know people watching right now, they want to refill, they want to take a pee. It's okay. Listen, hang in there with us. When we come back, second segment, Dion Hibdon join us here on the show. We got a big announcement, Tin Cup announcement coming up as well. So
Big, very important.
big, very important. Hang in there with us. When we come back, more Ike Live. You know, right now where we're standing, we're in Camden, New Jersey.
Yeah.
Philadelphia is right there. This is the concrete jungle. And, you know, a lot of those kids, as they grow up, they don't fish. It's interesting because they're surrounded by water. You know, the Delaware River, the Schuylkill, ponds, city park lakes. But they don't have the influence to cast, to fish, to have a rod and reel. And that became our focus, you know, is to target kids in what we call non-traditional areas, you know, urban areas, city centers, where the population's high, and let these kids have an experience. You know, it's amazing. I mean, some of the experiences we've had, whether it's Central Park in New York City, here in Camden, other parts of the country, even just casting.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable to see it, isn't it?
Yes.
It's unbelievable.
Yes.
And you know, you see these kids have this experience they've never had, and they light up, you know? The big thing, I think, for the Ike Foundation is we're not we're not saying we want all these kids to become professional anglers.
Yeah.
Be great if some of them did, but we want them to have that fishing experience because it ties them to so many other positive things. The outdoors, nature, conservation. Ecology, all these amazing things in life that maybe they wouldn't have been exposed to any other way. We're trying to help with that. So it's important. It's important for us.
Yeah.
We're proud of it.
You work hard to catch your fish. TH Marine has 2 products to ensure your fish survive. The Oxygenator injects 100% pure oxygen into your live well. That increases fish survival by 35%. For the perfect combo, add G-Juice Live Well treatment. It calms fish, stops bleeding, removes ammonia, and replaces slime coat. Get an Oxygenator and G-Juice and keep your fish alive.
At Founders Brewing, we asked ourselves, what if we brewed a beer perfect for any occasion? A beer that makes a weekday feel more like the weekend, and the weekend feel more like an adventure. What if we brewed a beer that brought us together and allowed us to be ourselves? A beer that is just as much of a companion as it is a reward at the end of the journey. What if we explored the unknown together and found a new way to celebrate taste and flavor and life's simple pleasures? And what if we brewed a beer that could go where you go without slowing you down? Founders All Day IPA, low ABV and full flavor that goes where you go. Perfect for any occasion.
We're excited to announce our brand new partnership with an amazing company, Heshi Socks. That's spelt Heshi Socks. Go to heshysocks.com to check out my brand new Mike Iaconelli collection. That's right, I have my own custom socks in tournament colors. I promise you, you will never, I mean never, find a more comfortable sock. The great news, all my socks are under $10 a pair when you use our promo code IKE20. Go to heshysocks.com, use the promo code IKE20 to get the most comfortable socks in the world.
Oh yeah, there it is. Action.
Hey everybody, welcome back to a brand new edition of Ike Live here on this wonderful Saturday night. You're watching a special one. Of course, we've got Luke Foley with Tin Cup in studio with us tonight. We've been chatting about all kinds of stuff, and just in a second here, we're going to be joined by 2-time world champion Dion Hibdon. I want to remind everybody, if you're watching over there on Facebook, do me a favor, like and share that feed. If you do that, you're going to be entered in a chance to win the world-famous Ike Live gift bag. Also, if you've got questions, comments, or other, please hit us up right there on the instant messaging or at Ike Live Show, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Real quick, Brian, I want to remind everybody, we are 2 weeks away, Dave, 2 weeks away from the Ike Foundation Celebrity Pro-Am on the Upper Chesapeake Bay. Still a lot of room to sign up. We've got a 150 boat cap on this tournament. I think we're about 75 or 80 the last I heard. So still time to sign up for that. All the money we're raising from that tournament is going to get kids fishing. I want to remind everybody, first place in this one, fully rigged bass cat boat with the Yamaha outboard. So go over to IkeFoundation.org, sign up for that thing. It's going to be a great tournament. The kids are back this year, too. They're limiting us to 100, but we'll have 100 kids out there teaching them how to cast and fish. So very, very excited. They're busting them up from Baltimore. It's going to be great.
I'm fishing it with McGraw.
Are you?
Yeah.
Wow. Are you going to miss Cole McGraw's fish now this year?
I'm going to let him handle all that.
You're going to let him
I'm
handle
going
that.
to stand on the back.
Yeah, you might have to catch all the fish and let John handle
He'll
all
put
the
you over
calling.
top of him. We'll be all right, man.
Dude, he's really good at finding them. You ever notice that?
He's that boater that when you're a co-angler that you want, because he's always going to put you over top of him. He's always going to have you over top of the fish.
Our buddy John has had 3 winners from the back of his boat in the Federation just in the last 4 or 5 years.
No, he's around them, dude. He's always around them.
He always gets around him. He can't always catch him, but he always gets around him. He's really good. He's got a good knack.
I don't think he fired. I don't think he fired his nephew yet, but I don't know if he watches the show. But
okay,
don't fire Zach.
Yeah, who knows? John doesn't watch the show anyway. It doesn't matter. Brian the Carpenter. Speaking of finding fish and talented anglers, we've got one coming on here that I'm so excited to have on Ike Live for the second time. But this is the first time I'm getting to talk to Dion in a long time. I can't even remember the last time we spoke. So I'm so excited to have him here on the show tonight. Joining us live via Zoom on Ike Live, the one and only Dion Hibdon, everybody. Dion!
Don't clap yet. I haven't said anything.
How you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. How are y'all?
Very good. Very good. Good to see you. Thank you for coming on the show again. Where are you home right now? Are you traveling? Where are you at?
No, I'm at home right now. Just got home a few days ago from doing a little pre-practicing and so hanging out around the house.
Gotcha. Sounds good. What event are you practicing for?
The Potomac. Going to the Potomac.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, I got a little bit of history there, so I'm excited.
Yeah, that's a good one. Are you, Dion, I got to ask you this because I'm experiencing this in my career and life right now. Are you as excited about tournament fishing now as you were when you first got into it? Is it the same? Is it different? Has it changed?
Well, it's a little bit different for me. In some respects. Am I still excited about going? Absolutely. I can't wait to leave and go to the next tournament. I'm really ready to come home, probably more because of the grandkids than used to be. I've got 6 grandkids.
Wow.
And of course, they all think I'm the greatest grandpa there is, or at least to hear them tell it anyways. But anyways, so I'm excited to go, and I still enjoy doing it. I like doing it with Lawson. That means a lot to me, like my dad did with me, and so that's a big deal for me. It's all about him and my other boys and everything. That's why I do this. That's why I did it when they were little. But anyways, I know what kind of fun I had with my dad, and I'm trying to experience that with Lawson and Payton and Connor and so we're having a good time. Is it as important to perform as it used to be? Probably not in my mind, it's more exciting to see him do well. Now, don't get me wrong. Does it piss me off the kind of year I'm having this year? Oh yeah. It's really irritating, but anyways, it's just that happens.
Yeah. I can relate to everything you're saying to a T. I want you to jump back because I've wanted to ask you this question for a long time. There's a lot of famous, what I call fishing families out there over the years, right? We can think of a lot of them. The Browers. There's so many. The Lanes.
Martins.
The Martins. There's so many famous fishing families. But Dion, what was it like growing up? Take us back to your childhood because it had to be incredible growing up under Guido's wing. I mean, take us back to that time, your childhood. Was it as incredible as I imagine it was?
It was pretty great. I can tell you that. My dad was an outdoorsman, period.
Yeah.
When I say that, he wasn't a great fisherman any more than he was a great hunter. He did everything. If it was in the outdoors, my dad was probably born 100 years too late. Because that's what he was. He was an outdoorsman.
Yeah.
And
pioneer.
Pretty much in the state of Missouri, if it walked, fly, swim, crawls, we chased it, killed it, caught it.
Yeah.
And yeah, our days were pretty busy. I'm pretty sure we make the Duck Dynasty guys look like amateurs when it comes to and not a lot of people know that. Luke got to grow up around it a little bit and stuff and see what we do, and Luke would come down and spend a week, and we would go on a virtual safari. We'd go kill everything season and catch fish and just do that kind of stuff. But it was very cool, and I never took it for granted, the way my dad was. He was just so much more advanced when it come to just the outdoors in general, but fishing especially.
Yeah.
He had it going on, and he always had it kind of figured out a little bit. He could tell you after the first day of practice, within an hour or so, okay, this is how the tournament's going to be won. And he was the same way with anything. You could turn him loose on a brand new patch of ground, and he could tell you where the biggest buck deer lived in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool to grow up with. And luckily enough, Dad got to fish with my sons quite a bit and growing up, and so they got to see some of it. And it was extremely cool growing up with Guido Hibdon as a dad.
Yeah.
And it was fun. We had a lot of fun. We my dad, hands down, was my best friend. We spent every day together, pretty much from the time I got out of high school. We would see each other every day. And like I say, to get to sit around and just listen to him talk that kind of knowledge every day, everything came from his mouth, something.
Yeah. That's amazing. That's amazing. And I think when it's happening, like, I think as it was happening when you were a kid and you were growing up, it was very normal for you. You didn't think any different because that's just what your life was.
He's living with Yoda.
Yeah, it was just what you did. And I have a lot of my son Vegas, a lot of his friends and a lot of adults will, say the same thing to him, kind of like, oh my God, must be awesome. But for my son Vegas, it's just, he grew up around tournament fishing. He grew up around living on the lake and catching fish. So it's very normal to him.
Having his own 1,600 square foot room.
Yeah. He doesn't have a 1,600 square foot room. Get out of here.
I was just thinking of the size of my house, and they're gonna make it.
Get out of here. But I did want you to, and I know you've told this story a million times, but I did want our listeners and viewers to hear it. The Guido Bug Story, which is a great one. And again, I want to, when I think about that story, I'd think about it like you didn't even know what, this was normal for you, right? When you were making the Guido Bug, right? It was a school project, and it was this is just something you would normally do. And all these years later, do you look back on that and say, that was amazing that happened? Because
cutting edge.
That was cutting edge. Because, think about that. Yeah. That was, I know it's hard to wrap your hands around it, but that was a big moment for fishing, for the lure industry, for fishing style, and you did it as a project for school. Take us through that again. I know you've told the story a million times.
Well, when I was in the 5th grade, our teacher, I think it was like an art project or something. We had to make something, like was in the wild. People made birds, there was snakes, there was everything. And we already made a lot of our own lures. And I told Dad, I said, what can I do? And he said, and we owned a tackle store at that point in time. And Dad says, take that big rod in there and put it in plaster Paris, and we'll make a mold out of it. And you can make one out of rubber. And he didn't really think a thing about it, and I'd out of there and, and I knew how to make the mold. We'd done that a million times with worms and other things. And so I tacked it down in a box and poured plaster Paris over it. And we uncovered it. And, and as soon as we did, I painted over the mold like you're supposed to and everything. And heated up a little bit of rubber and poured in that mold. And I told Dad, I said, "You want to see this?" "Yeah, sure. Why not?" And I pulled it out. And as soon as I pulled it out and he saw it, he was like, "Oh my God, what in the world were we thinking?" Had we not come up with that before? And that was in between the cutoff on a BASS tournament on Lake of the Ozarks. One of the first ones that he ever fished. And needless to say, we made some little brown ones. And back then, you didn't have many variations. You had black rubber, you had brown rubber.
Yeah.
And we made some little brown ones to go with some brown jigs. And he wrapped up some little short collar jigs, and we poured up some little brown Guido bugs, and he won the tournament.
Wow.
And basically he held the 5-fish weight record in BASS for about 20 years off of that tournament. Had like 4.8 something average per fish until Jimmy Nolan won on Sam Rayburn.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, it was a cool deal, And what's amazing is how long it lasted, how long it's held on there,
Yeah.
I still got boxes of them that, the old originals that I carry with me.
Say what?
I carried them with me to Lake Eufaula last week, and strung one on when I went to flipping some bushes, so it's just something it's held on for a long, long time,
It's crazy.
It's rubber bait. It's like when the buzzbait came out.
Yeah. It's so crazy because, Dion, we mentioned it. We were talking about it with Luke before you came on. But in the South Jersey area here growing up, that lure was real important for us. Everybody in the room here, Dave and Brian the Carpenter, it was a big lure for us. But how many fish do you think over the years has been caught on that Guido bug?
I don't know. It would be crazy to imagine that.
In the billions, probably, right? It has to be.
We got to sell them to Japan, and we were pretty sure they were melting them down and eating them or something. I don't know what they were doing with them. They must have used them for garnish or something, because when we first got into that industry over there, holy cow, it was crazy how many we sold over there. Dad got Lucky Strike. He says, "They're not fishing with these. There's not enough water over there."
Wow.
And,
So Dion, did you have like a unique name for the one, like for the blue color? I have an original still in the pot, like in the bag, but like the labels have all been since worn off. Like I can't tell what color you called it, but like, did you have any unique names for the blue one?
No.
Just blue?
Absolutely not. We didn't have enough time to do stuff like that.
Yeah.
When we got into that, it was balls to the walls, boys. You couldn't make them fast enough. We couldn't get rid of them. I mean, there was companies calling, wanting to make it for us and different things. And we, naming them was the least of our worries.
I'm pretty sure you were in Sports Authority, because I'm pretty sure that's where I bought mine from.
Did you?
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy. And then if you take it a step further and think about how many fish that style bait has caught since then, right? Even if it's not the Guido bug, but like other small crawl baits, you got to be in the billions.
Who was first, the salt crawl, Gene LaRue, or was it?
Yeah, Gene LaRue was a bigger crawl, though. Like, the Guido bug, to me, was the first true finesse realistic crawl, And now there's a billion of them out there,
Yeah, it was the first one to look natural.
Yeah.
But, yeah, there's been a lot of crawdads since and before, and they all catch fish. But, yeah, it's not hard pre-spawn to tie on a Guido bug and still catch one.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it was an awesome bait and still is an awesome bait. And Brian the Carpenter, we may or may not still have some that we use on the Delaware River. I won't talk about that because people will get mad at me if I continue that conversation.
From one of the big 5 fishing families, too, right? Like up northeast here, we got our 5 crime families, right?
Yeah. The mafia?
What do you think? Yeah, you think they're online with the Gambinos or the Genovese, the Hibdons?
Yeah.
I think so, right?
Well, I would say
the Genovese.
I would say for sure. How fulfilling is it, though, Dion, to be able to continue fishing in your family? I know that's important with you. You're doing it with your son. You're getting to do it with your grandkids now. That's got to be the ultimate reward, is to be able to just keep passing it down.
Well, that's what life's all about. I mean, we all do the same thing. We just do it, everybody does it on their own level and with whatever profession they're in. We've just been real fortunate to be decent at it, and it's very, very cool, to have grandkids that pack around a fishing pole 90% of their life. That's what they think about,
Yeah.
My oldest grandson, he told me before I went to Okeechobee, he told me, he says, "Hey, Papa," he says, "they're biting a spinnerbait down there, I heard." Where he even got that, where he would have come up with that, but at some point in time, he's watched something on YouTube about him eating a spinnerbait on Okeechobee. and he's just now putting sentences together.
Wow.
And he told me, he said, "Hey, you need to make sure you pack those spinnerbaits." And just having one of them sitting in the boat with me every now and then, and and just shooting the breeze with me about fishing a little bit, it's pretty cool. It's amazing. Everybody told me that when you had kids, it changed your life. Well, when you have grandkids, it really changes your life.
Yeah.
Lots of other things that are not as important as they used to be. But yeah, it's very cool. My dad and me, we had a great time. I feel like I'm probably, 2 out of the 3 of my kids, I'm their best friend, and like I say, I'm going to ruin every grandkid I got, before it's over. I hope their mothers like it. If they don't, it's going to be bad for them,
Well, hell, dude, 2 more grandkids, you'll be able to shoot it out against the Waltons.
Yeah.
I mean, you got 6.
Yeah, I got 6 right now. And like I say, it's just a great deal. It's really, really super deal.
And you get to send them home at the end of the day, too.
Between me and my wife, we have 7 sons.
Nice.
So there's a pretty good chance that we're going to have some fishermen come out of the Hibdon bunch again, before it's over with.
That's awesome.
So,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you, you've affected a lot of people within your family and outside of your family. And I've told this story before, but I want to tell you it again, because it would mean a lot for me to tell this story with you on live. And you guys you and your dad have met so many people over the years. I'm sure you probably don't remember this specific one, but I want to tell it because it was one of the most impactful things that happened in my career. So I want you to hear it from me directly. But it was a Bass University that I attended, and I was either just out of high school, or I was 18, 19 years old. I was in that range, 18, 19, 20 years old. And it was in Harrisburg, and I went up, and I stayed. It was a 2-day event. I stayed for both days, and you and your dad spoke on the last day. It was a Sunday. So I'm sure you guys had traveled in from another show. You spoke all day Sunday, and Gary White used to work you guys pretty hard. I remember he had a program where you never sat still during the course of a day. So you guys worked all day, and the seminar was over, and the official question and answer segment ended, and everybody was getting out of their chairs and leaving, and I finally got enough nerve to go up from the back of the room and come up and talk to you guys. And I remember I was nervous. I was so nervous and intimidated, because both of you guys were guys that I've read about and seen in magazines and TV and videos and Bassmasters, and I was nervous, but I managed to spit it out, and I spit out this thing, which was, man, I want to do this. What do I need to do? I'm from Jersey. I don't really know. I love fishing. What should I do? Can you guys point me in the right direction? And you guys spent, if it wasn't an hour, it was sure close to an hour with me, talking to me, and giving me motivation and pointing me in the right direction. And I can't tell you how much that meant to me. when you're that young, when you're at that age, you know, your life is sort of like an intersection with a lot of different streets. You know what I mean? And that 40, 50 minutes, an hour you spent with me, it changed my life, Dion. So I want to thank you and your dad for spending that time with me. It was so important.
Well, it means a lot to us. As you know, being in the sport as long as you have, we've had some ups and downs and wondered, hey, where's the next generation coming from? And we always, tried to take the time. A lot of guys, would have wrote that off, that question, well, get a good job, or something like that. And I've heard that answer a million times, from guys, and that just always irritated me so bad because, it is tough. It's tough to get started, and if there's somebody that's got the desire to do this or try to do this, guess what? I'll be the first guy to step up and try to tell them what I know about it and, do the best I can do to help them with, getting down the right path, basically, because there's lots of different paths that you can take. They won't get you there, and, so, we kind of always tried to do that. My dad probably was one of the better ambassadors of this sport that there could have been. And it's just because he wanted more, he wanted those young guys. He wanted everybody to have a chance to do what he spent a lifetime doing, taking a few extra minutes with a kid like Luke or something like that. That was no accident for him. That's the way he went through life, he could meet somebody at a gas station, and he'd do the same thing. That's just the way he was. He was truly a prince of a man. Yeah. And that's excluding nothing, no realm, not just bass fishing. That's just the way he was. It's such a tight-knit sport, and there's such a competition for all the same money, and stuff like that, a lot of guys feel like they can't share that, hell, I want everybody on the planet to own a fishing rod, and I want every one of them to come fish a bass tournament against Dion Hibdon, it's just, that's what it's all about, the joy that I've had doing this in my lifetime. Hell, I want everybody to experience that at some point in their life, I'm glad that the industry is kind of on the, in a good place right now. It's growing. That's one of the big deals with Tin Cup. Tin Cup is one of those sponsors that there's lots of people out there that have a lot of advertising money. Okay. We just got to direct them in the right way and treat them the right way to get them to kick in, because this is what people do. People fish. They fish, they hunt, they're outdoorsy. Yeah. And we're just hoping that Tin Cup kind of, opens the doors and pushes the doors open to all different kinds of sponsors to get into this, and maybe make our sport a better place. It's been pretty small for a long time. If it's not boats and trucks and tackle, well, that's it. And like I say, something like Tin Cup coming around is really a big deal, as far as I'm concerned. I think it's something that, will brighten the future for all these young people to get in this sport and have a different avenue to maybe take to be able to do this. So I'm tickled to death to be a part of it. That's for sure.
Well, that's awesome. I'm a big believer in, things are sort of meant to be. And, from meeting you guys at that Bass University to Luke, to you meeting Guido, the connection it created with Dion. I'm a believer in that things sort of are meant to be. And I'm glad that this Tin Cup thing was meant to be for you guys, because it's big. It is important. Speaking of important, I want to get to this because this is another big announcement. It's another thing I love about what Tin Cup is doing is that you guys are creating something that's more than just a sponsorship. You're creating a program that's getting Tin Cup vested in fishing and the outdoors. And Dion, I'm going to shoot it to you because I know you want to talk about it, but there's a big thing coming here with Tin Cup. You want to let the Ike Live fans and viewers know about it?
You betcha. Tin Cup has, pretty much agreed to and thought that it was a great idea. They're going to donate $1 per bottle sold up to $100,000 to environmental conservation stuff. We've got things, we've got some Bassmasters things that we're going to do in Alabama, Tennessee, and Texas. They're doing some stuff for trout fishing in Colorado, some mine restorations for Trout Unlimited. They're also supporting projects in coastal conservation in Florida and Louisiana. And in Indiana, which I have to kind of give those guys a little bit of ribbon, they need some help on their with their fish habitats and some restocking, by the way, Luke. But they're doing some donating with Indiana Bass Federation. The Proximo Manufacturing is recycling wooden pallets so that they can build fish habitat and stuff like that. I always give Luke a hard time about Indiana because it's such a tough place to fish.
Yeah.
But I can tell you right now, the month and a half that we spent doing those promotions, I've never seen a group of bass fishermen come out like they did up there. They really came out of the woodwork. I didn't realize there was that many bass fishermen in the country, let alone, Indiana. And I gave them all the same hard time, didn't I, Luke? I didn't cut none of them.
You did.
I told them all one good tank full of gas and they could be around some good fishing. Some people think that's funny. Some people don't, But anyways, we had a great time up there. They really come out. They pushed it. They supported it. But $100,000 going directly back into the, conservation, of some of these states and stuff, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
And the neat thing about it is it's a big deal for it to go in several different directions, and I'm all about that. I don't think that bass fishing needs to be the one that totally benefits from all this. It needs to be anybody who wants to hold a rod and reel, whether it's a fly rod, whether it's standing on a beach, saltwater fishing. We just want everybody to get out there and do a little bit of fishing. And like I say, with every purchase of a bottle of Tin Cup, $1 goes towards conservation.
Dude, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome. Brian, another toast moment, since I know you're looking for every chance to toast. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's probably something that'll open doors towards some other people too. They're going to see what a good deal that is, and it's going to be good for everybody.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome that Tin Cup's giving back because there's been some companies that got involved in fishing in the past, and it seemed very short-sighted. But that's a long-sighted thing, right?
Yeah.
That's looking at fishing as a whole and saying, look, we're involved in this sport. We want to help make this sport better, right? We want to get more people fishing. We want to make it, we want to make it better. That's a big thing, man. And hats off to you guys for doing that.
Oh, thank you, Mike. I was talking to my brand manager, Jesse Taylor, and working with the Hibdons, we launched this program, and through the pandemic, fishing exploded, as you know.
Big time. But
at the same time, the point that nobody's talking about is there's probably been more fish hooked than ever before. So we really thought that it was an extremely important time now more than ever to give back to the sport. That's why we're doing restocking. And, Indiana was once ranked, there's 50 states.
Yeah.
We were 50th, and there are no bass in Alaska. So Alaska beat us. So I'm trying to get us from the bottom. Now we're here like Drake. So I'm trying. You hear a Drake reference tonight, did you? So I'm trying to move Indiana up the ladder and stock in some fish. But no, we are vested. Like I said, we thought now would be the best time to launch a program like this, and we have some great ambassadors to talk about it. So we're super excited.
It's awesome. It's awesome.
Where's Jersey on that list?
That's what I was wondering.
Maybe next year.
Wait, what?
Maybe next year I'll work on it.
Okay. No, I meant on the list.
No, on the sucky list.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know, sir.
Yeah.
Below Alaska.
However, that was my next question. Was where Jersey would fall on that list because we need it. And by the way, that stuff has to stay in the South. All our money goes to North Jersey. So, Luke, send that check down here.
Yeah, below 195.
There it is.
Yeah, when you hook a fish and you're yelling big one the whole time, and it's a 1.75 pounds.
Yeah,
we need help.
It's a pickerel.
It's a pickerel. It's not even a bass, and you're yelling big one.
But not the North.
North.
Not the store.
That's honestly awesome, man. What a great program, and like I said, it's
great company.
Great that you're giving back because we need that. Fishing needs that. Dion, I got to ask you something. You've won 2 of the biggest titles there are in fishing. I think I see them behind you. You won the Bassmaster Classic and also the FLW Championship, big ones. When you were a kid growing up, were those things you dreamed about? Were they things you said, I'd love to do that. I'd love to do that one day. And then when they happened, did it seem real?
You know, the thing of it was it was slightly different for me because I watched my dad do it.
Yeah.
You know, and so yeah, it was very real. But you know, also it was crazy because, you know, before I won the Classic, I hadn't won a regular tournament. You know, and the crazy thing about it is my dad had got sick before in the '97 season, and so he didn't qualify for that Classic. And so that's the only regret I have out of both of the championships that I won is I didn't beat the best bass fisherman I knew. Because my dad wasn't in the FLW championship that I won either. But the Bassmasters, it was, to me, it was kind of more of a relief than anything else. Did I think about it when I was a kid? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But it was one of those deals, you know, I could see my dad, you know, doing it, and I knew he had done it. And it was just always one of them things in the back of my mind. I thought, man, that would be really cool if that ever happens. And when it did, you know, my emotions were a little bit different on stage than a lot of people because it was a huge relief, you know.
Yeah.
And it was I knew it was what it meant to my mom and my dad and, you know, my wife, my kids, and everybody. I knew that, you know, they had always told me I could, you know, and when it happened, it was kind of a big relief. The FLW championship, when I won it, that was kind of mine, you know, that was kind of my deal there. You know, I knew I could, you know, you get those feelings every now and then. And, you know, the day before the tournament, you know, I came in and I told my wife, I said, wow, this could really happen, you know, and, you know, and then for it to actually go ahead and happen, you know, it was pretty exciting. And like I say, my mom and dad got to come and be there, and, you know, just like bass fishing is, he stopped by on our way down to the Delta in New Orleans for the next tournament that I had to start fishing the next day, you know.
Yeah.
So I didn't get a lot of time to think about that one a whole lot, but after it sunk in, you know, it felt like mine, you know, that I'd done that one kind of for myself. But yeah, I thought about it as a kid. What kid doesn't?
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
Yeah, it's you've won 2 of the hardest titles there are to win, which is incredible. There's not too many. How many are there total? This is a Ken Duke question.
Luke Clausen.
Luke Clausen won both. Yeah, there's not very many that have won both.
I got that.
Brian the Carpenter might have it. It's unbelievable. Did the Classic change your life after you won that one, Dion? Like
there's 5.
There's 5. Okay,
yep.
So 1 of 5. That's incredible.
You need me to tell you who they are? I mean, come on.
Yeah, come on. Don't blast past that. Who are the 5?
Who are the 5?
Yeah.
Well, Luke Clausen.
Yeah.
Dion.
George Cochran.
George Cochran.
That's right.
Denny Brower. Kevin Van Dam.
Wrong and wrong.
Not Kevin Van Dam.
Not Kevin Van Dam.
Not Denny Brower.
Davey Height. Davey Height.
Davey Height.
Davey Height.
Ooh. Still
You guys
missing.
got 'em?
Who's the other one?
George Cochran, Davey Height, Luke Clausen, me,
Cockerel.
Fritz.
That
No,
is
not
correct.
David Fritz. There you go.
Fritz.
Crank.
There you go.
Fritz.
Greg Hackney could be the 6th. Greg Hackney won an FLW championship, and he's fishing really good right now. Looks like he'll make a classic here again. Could be the next one.
It's pretty crazy. You know, I'm proud of that. There's no doubt. You know, but to me and Dad, you look at Dad's finishes over the years in the classic. He was always in the top, you know, and so, you know, I always had his attitude. You know, his attitude was it's the easiest tournament in the world to win because there's no tomorrow. You know, you're not fishing to qualify for anything.
Yeah.
So you basically fish assholes and elbows wide open the whole time.
That's right.
You know, catching big ones, you know, and, you know, here I won by 1 ounce, you know, but it was one of those deals, you know, you fish to win from the time you show up, you know.
Yeah.
And you're a winner. Okay. So when you hear guys say up on stage, you know, well, I'm just proud to be here. No, you're not. I'm never just glad to be there, and neither are you. You came there to win. If you didn't win, you're disappointed, you know?
Yeah.
And that's the way guys who win think, you know?
Yeah.
You know, so it's, you know, that's just the way it is. And that's the way my dad thought. We discussed it many, many times, me and my dad, that we were probably 2 of the worst professional bass fishermen that there probably were, because we didn't like catching little ones. We did not like catching our limit. You know, catching it was just something that happened while I was fishing for big ones, you know, and so, you know, we just, you know, we never fish safe too much, you know, and we always try to catch the best ones we can catch. And I would rather weigh in 2 that weighs 10 pounds as catch 20 keepers that weighing 10 pounds.
Right.
You know, so when that occasion arises, you know, we always seem to do pretty good, you know.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those deals. We, you know, Dad was always that way. You know, when I was growing up as a kid, and if we decided to get in a local tournament, you know, a lot of people ask me, you know, what made you such a great caster? And it was fishing behind Guido Hibdon, because I had to learn to cast with both hands, because when I was growing up and was young, if we took money out of our pocket to fish a tournament, there was no other intention besides taking all their money and winning.
Yeah.
And if my dad saw the perfect cast, he wouldn't let you have it. You had to be able to make it, or you could sit back and watch him make it. And that's the way I grew up. You know, my dad, everybody said, you know, oh, my dad was the sweetest man on the planet. Yeah, he was till you got out there fishing. You got out there fishing, there was one intention, and that was to win.
Yeah.
And you know, so you know, I grew up swinging for the fence and fishing for big ones on Lake of the Ozarks, and you know, and that kind of carried over into our style of fishing when we went fishing. You know, out around the country. You know, he was just a winner. He wanted to win. He didn't want second. You know, he didn't want to finish 10th, or you know, he wanted to win, and he did a lot of winning because of it.
That's awesome. I got another quick story, and I don't know if I've ever told this one on the show before or not, but I had a chance to draw your dad years after I spoke to you guys at that Harrisburg show, and I drew him out as an amateur. I was a co-angler at Lake Norman, top 100 in 1994, so a long time ago. And I remember your dad was fishing a top water for post-spawn fish, you know, and around rocks, around docks. And I was so excited. I was so jacked up to fish with your dad. And I remember early on, the first bite I got bit on a popper behind your dad. And it was just a small keeper. I was so stoked, dude. And I swung this fish in, and I'm trying to get it off, and I'm going to put it in the well, and I caught one behind Guido. I caught a fish behind Guido, and I'm so excited. And the fish did a little shake, and the Pop-R hook went in my finger. And I was very, very quiet because I didn't want to disrupt what he was doing, and I was embarrassed, you know? So I like removed this fish, and I kind of was in pain but didn't say anything. And I put the fish in a live well, and the Pop-R is caught in the fat part of the bottom of my finger. And I was still young, so I didn't know what I was doing. And I just got my needle nose and just ripped it out, and just kind of like internally screamed, but didn't want to embarrass myself behind Guido. So
that was what you're saying. That's the only time in your life you internally screamed.
I internally screamed once in my entire life, and behind your dad. So I wanted to tell that story real quick because
it's the only time.
Yes. But I did get exactly what you're talking about. I got to see it. It was really, really cool to see him at work, and very intense. And what you described was right. Like, he wanted to win, and you could tell. And again, for me as a young angler, to see that, it was a great learning experience, and it taught me a lot. So awesome moment getting that hook in my finger with your dad.
That's funny, dude.
The thing of it is, you can ask Luke. I mean, he would have taken great pleasure pulling it out. I guess.
Maybe I should have asked him. I was embarrassed, you know.
Yeah.
I didn't
He's
ask
pulled
him.
out 1 million hooks around the Bassmasters tour in his life. So
Oh my gosh,
he wouldn't have had no trouble doing that.
that's crazy.
I got a message from Pete.
Yeah.
Want
We
me
got
to go to that.
Oh yeah, we got a message from our own Pete Glusick. Yeah. What do we got?
So Pete fished the BFL on the Chesapeake today, and his co-angler, his name was Tom Dellinger. And Tom, is that name familiar? Dion?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, Tom marshaled and was co-angler.
How
For,
about
I guess
that?
for Dion, right? And became friends with you guys. And he also said that Mike was the most intense angler that he was ever with, and also said Pete was the best fisherman he ever saw. So we know this whole thing's a lie.
Had the best beard and the nicest eyes.
You had me until you got to the Pete comment.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Pete's pretty solid. He catches them.
Yeah.
He's
That's kind of ironic though. Pete drew that guy today.
wow,
Pretty cool.
in a BFL. How about that? It all comes full circle. Dion, what's next? What's next for you? Like I said that for myself too, right? You win titles that are things you dream about. They're the biggest titles in the world, and then life goes on and life changes, and then you sort of say to yourself, in the competitive realm, what's next, right? What's next for me to do in bass fishing? What's next for you?
Well, I want to be there. I want to be there when my sons, show out and finally make something spectacular happen. Because I know what that meant to my dad. When I was with him and stuff, and so I'd like to hang around and still compete and fish as best I can. But my stuff's basically it's all about the boys. It's all about my kids. I know what joy it gave Dad to be around them, and I know what it means to me, every time they do good or fish good or something like that. And, I still don't like getting beat. I can tell you that right now. I like competing. It's just, it's more about them than anything else for me right now. Sure, I'd like to, have a bang up year while I'm still young enough and healthy enough, and do well. But right now, there's important things going on in our life when it comes to, making this 10 Cup deal really fly. And, I told Luke at the beginning of this, if it's more important for me to stay out and make this thing work, I would. And I still hold true to that. If this thing's going to change our industry and change our sport as we know it, I could lay back on the fishing just to make this work and to promote it. Yeah. I'm good at a lot of things, but I can talk, I can talk pretty well, in front of people and if it takes me selling this and helping to sell this, which Luke doesn't need much help with that because he's he's probably the greatest at his position that there is, and I'm just damn lucky to be a part of it, but I know what I'm good at, and what I'm good at is talking to people.
Yeah.
And all those seminars over the years and everything, I think every young bass fisherman in the sport today should have to go through a year of bass universities, because it makes you grow. It really does. I mean, all the years you've done them and stuff, that's good for you. I mean, I've sat in hotel rooms and figured out as many patterns as I have out on the water over the years, just sometimes when you're away from it, things become more apparent, it's like, oh my God, that's why that happened,
Yeah.
and getting out there and talking about it and talking to people about it and teaching people, I've always, found that, I feel pretty good about myself when I do that, and it still means a lot to me. And like I say, if that's what it took to make this thing fly, then that's what I'm going to do, like I say, still want to fish, and I'm still going to fish as much as I can, but it's all about my boys and everybody fishing, and we got a great team working out there right now. That freaking kid winning Angler of the Year, man, I don't see no stopping his butt. He's this guy is something, right?
Yeah, he's decent.
Decent, man.
He's having a decent couple days.
Yeah. But just a really good thinker, it seems like to me, to watch him. I don't know if any of the rest of you do this, but when I'm at home, if I get up in the morning and my wife's a school teacher, and so she's gone, when the chickens wake up, and I get up about an hour later, and if live bass fishing is on, I look up and it's 1 o'clock before I get anything done.
Oh yeah.
I mean, stuff. And to watch him on TV, you can tell that guy's got it going on, and it's not just that he's just catching them. He's not on a roll. I mean, he's thinking. He's thinking every minute. Every second of the day, and I'm damn proud we got him on our team. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I can tell you this, Dion, your success in the fishing industry has been amazing and is continuing, whether it's getting your family into the sport or other people, and what you guys are doing with Tin Cup, Luke, what you guys are doing, you are really changing the sport. You are, like I said it when you first came on tonight, it's so important for this sport to have companies like Tin Cup involved. So I want to thank both you guys. Dion, thank you, and Luke, thank you guys for what you're doing. You're helping get new people involved in the sport, and that's what we need to grow it. So thank you very, very much. Thank you super much from the heart, man. Means a lot.
And the whiskey's really good.
And the whiskey's good.
Award-winning.
It is award-winning.
Award-winning.
It is award-winning.
That's a fact.
Dion, thank you for joining us on the show. It was so awesome to have you on and talk to you. It was great.
Dion, you're going to be at the Classic in 2 weeks? 3 weeks?
Maybe just a day or two. I'm on the Potomac during it, so maybe just the last day or two.
Oh, got you. Okay.
Hey, I got to throw a shout out real quick before we get off of here. My son it's my son's uncle passed away today, died of a heart attack. Probably Lawson's best friend. And, his family's down in the mouth right now, and everything's real hard. But he was as much like my dad as probably anybody alive today. They were actually out setting out a trot line, and Shannon Beckman was one of those guys that did everything. He hunted, he fished, one of the best crappie fishermen on the planet. Just got through weighing in seven crappie that weighed 19 pounds last week in a tournament. And like I say, he died of a heart attack today, and I just got to give a little shout out to his family, because I know they're all listening, because they're all big fans of the show, and they're all big fans of mine, and I just want to tell them how much I appreciated getting to know their dad, their father, all of them. But Shannon was a good man, and like I said, we lost a fine angler today.
Yeah. Well, sorry to hear that, and we'll be thinking about everyone and thoughts and prayers to the family for sure.
Thanks for having me on the show, guys. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Thank you, Dion, for coming on. Dion Hibdon, everybody. Man, it's just that last little shout out Dion gave. It does put stuff in perspective because life is pretty short, and you gotta take every advantage of every day. You know what I mean? So
I was I last spoke to Shannon at Peyton's wedding, which was about 3 weeks ago, and I told him, I was like, me and Dion, we're going on like live. We're going to make this announcement.
Yeah.
We're not really telling anybody, but it's like killing me because we're so excited. And he thought that was the greatest thing ever, that we're going to do that for conservation. Like Dion said, he was a tremendous angler, and him and Lawson fished together as much, maybe even more than what Dion and Lawson have fished. As of recent, and I have not spoken to Lawson since I got the news. I got the news about 2 hours before I got to New Jersey.
Wow.
And I know he's hurting, but Lawson know this. He's very excited to see what you're going to do with the sport. So
wow, it's crazy. The one thing I wanted to mention to Dion, and we got to the end there, and I forgot. He's got that tournament on the Potomac. I was going to ask Dion if he's going to go check out Canes Creek. If you know, Dave, where Canes Creek is at, Canes Creek is a little creek that dumps into Occoquan Bay. And Guido won in Canes Creek in like the mid-90s.
Is Cane's the one way in the back through all the
Cane
no wake where all the houses are?
Cane is the one, when you're looking at Occoquan Bay, if you're looking at it from like the
to the
bridge,
right, to the hard right.
it's
coming
to the
from
left.
Coming off the river, hard right.
Hard right.
Yeah.
That little creek, Guido won a tournament there, an invitational there.
Really?
In the mid-90s. It was like, back then I think they were actually it was a 3-day invitational.
Near Horton's Rock.
Yeah, but
you make
in the
a right
creek,
at Horton's
in
Rock.
the creek he won. It was a 3-day invitational. One of the days was canceled because like a hurricane came through.
Hurricane, here you go.
That's what it was. But he won a 2-day event there in Canes Creek. So it'd be interesting if years later Dion goes in there and like wins in Canes Creek. How cool would that be?
How about it?
Yeah, Canes Creek. I remember that. It's funny, man. In fishing, I remember all those wins. And I was just a fan at the time. But like reading it and like all that like.
But Timmy Horton won one at basically at the mouth of that creek where all those rocks are.
Yeah.
Right off that point where all them stupid birds are always
at. Yeah. Them stupid birds. Yeah, that was a fall tournament that he won. It's like when all that vegetation starts dying, they move to the
get
rocks.
on that hard.
Yeah. Man, that was awesome. What a great interview with Dion. So
it was.
so cool to have him on, and I love rehashing some of them stories. I've told a few of them before.
He's also a card shark. He invited everyone to fish against him. I fished against him about a dozen times. My name was never north of his. You know what I mean? Like, he's a card shark.
Well,
dude.
he said
Don't take that invitation, you
No,
idiots.
I know.
Get a job.
I know, but he said it though, and it was cool. Like he was talking about him and his dad fishing derbies when they were young, and like they fished them to win. They fish them to take your fucking money.
Yeah.
And it's cool to hear that because that's that hustle mentality.
Oh, it definitely works.
You see it in pool and you see it in other sports, and
I stayed near him in Marine Village when his boys were young. They'd all be standing around with their rods and their jerseys on, and they were
that's cool.
Young. They were 11, 12 years old at the time.
Yeah.
Big boys, man. Big ass kids.
That's what I mean, though. It's like when you grow up in that environment, you just don't know any better. It becomes normal. Tournament fishing and fishing every day and baiting hooks and this and that and backing boats in. It's just what you do.
Yeah.
It's cool. What a fishing family too. Man. Got to be one of the greatest ever, right?
I think so.
Right up in the top. Right up in the top.
Yeah, Gambinos.
The Gambinos, yeah.
Dion Gambino.
Yeah.
No, that was cool, man.
That was very cool.
Yeah.
That was very cool.
So here's a fun fact from Ken Duke.
Oh, Ken Duke with a fact.
Yeah. More than 20 anglers won the first BASS tournament they ever fished, but only 3 ever won another event. Guido is the only one who also won a classic.
Wow.
Won his first ever.
First event he ever fished.
Yeah.
And won a classic.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
The only one, yeah.
Very, very cool.
Dang.
Very cool.
I believe he won his second event, too.
What?
First and second, back to back?
Because they were both on Lake of the Ozarks.
Wow.
So I think they came, he won. They came back, he won that again.
Wow.
Good for him. Jesus.
Wow. It's awesome.
All right.
It's awesome.
Did we do? Oh, here's one. Guido was one of 5 anglers to have won the classic and multiple Bassmaster AOYs.
Yep.
Who are the other? Guido was one of 5 who won a classic and multiple AOYs.
Mark Davis, Kevin.
Yep. 2 more.
Kevin.
A classic and multiple AOYs.
Height.
Yep.
Height.
Cochran.
No.
Nixon.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Dang.
Wow.
Luke.
General.
Go ahead,
You're a
Luke.
savage, dude.
Go ahead, Luke.
You're no fraud. He's no friggin' fraud, guys.
The general.
He just took out like an Ellie in his own world, dude. Drowned him in shallow water.
Drowned him in shallow water. Hey, let's hit a commercial break and come back and wrap up a few things.
Let's do it. Yeah, let's do that. Man, I hope you're having as much fun as we are. It's been a great show. You're watching a brand new Ike Live Saturday night. Of course, Luke Foley with us in studio and Dion Hibdon just signing off. Hang in there with us. We got a few things going on. We're going to do an MTB unboxing, a couple other things. Hang in there with us. We come back, more Ike Live.
Finesse jig, PB&J, give me something hard. Hey, KVD here. Now, I didn't always know this much about fishing. 4-aught EWG worm hook. In fact, there was a time when I couldn't tell the difference between a jerkbait and a stickbait. But then I signed up for Mystery Tackle Box, the original monthly tackle subscription. And now I know more about fishing than I do about calculus.
And he knows a lot about calculus.
Plus, I get amazing extras like free fishing magazines. October 2016. Featured article, 4 places to throw a frog. Exclusive decals. Zombie bass. And how-to videos for all the great baits I receive. How to tune a crankbait. Is that underwater footage I smell?
I got goosebumps.
So if you're looking to develop enhanced fishing abilities like me, or you just like getting new tackle every month, go to mysterytacklebox.com and get your box today. Ooh, live minnows. Is it lunchtime already? Nature's candy. Oh. Is he in my pocket?
This time of year, I definitely recommend putting a little bit of this on your soft plastics too. There he is. Another one. Next cast. And that would be number 6. I'm addicted. I'll admit it. I'm straight addicted.
It might be bigger.
You think so?
Yeah. Feels bigger. I haven't even seen this thing yet. It doesn't want to come up. Don't break me off the rocks.
Oh, it's a... Oh!
27 inches.
He caught it.
28.
Oh my god, that's such a healthy fish. Look at this size. Put a little liquid mayhem on your crappie jig, and look where the stripers get it. You can't even see it, man. That might be a keeper.
This is your tackle. Not that kind of tackle. You use it to catch this, or this, or this. You also use this and that and these. This is your environment. So is this. You love it, live for it, but it will turn this into that. This is the Flambeau Z-Rust Max Tough Tainer series. These are fully infused with exclusive Z-Rust VCI anti-corrosion technology. This is a U.S. naval battleship. The same Z-Rust technology used here has been used on those to protect advanced weapon systems from corrosion in conditions like these. For the fish, it's invisible, odorless, tasteless. And for you, it's FDA-safe anti-rust protection for a minimum of 5 years. This is the next level of tackle management, not that kind of management. This is the Flambeau legacy of tackle systems. What's your tackle worth?
It's more than who you are. It's who you're with. And it's more than what you do. It's where you do it. Tin Cup Mountain Whiskey.
And we're back.
Dave's cracking me up over here. Welcome back to a brand new episode of Ike Live. I hope you're having a great Saturday night. We are. I hope you're at home drinking a little Tin Cup or Founders, hanging out with us. Just heard from one of the greats of the sport, truly one of the greats, Dion Hibdon, with some great stories. Luke, the program that Dion announced, that is exciting. That's really exciting. That's got to feel good, right? To know that, first of all, you helped bring in Tin Cup to the fishing world, and now you've created this thing to give back. That's it. That's a good thing, man. That's a really good thing.
Yeah, it's an amazing feeling to think that maybe somebody might catch their first fish that maybe we stock somewhere, and maybe that kid or adult or whoever it is, is for life. I mean, that's they talk about things that may be bigger than the sport. I mean, I don't know. It's one of those type of feelings. I still trying to wrap my head around it all. We've just been running 100 miles an hour trying to keep up with everything, and I know you know what that's like. But it's incredible.
It's very, very cool. Let me remind you, this is the last chance. If you've got a question or comment, please put it through to Brian the Carpenter. Head on over to Ike Foundation, theikefoundation.org. Still got a couple weeks before the Pro-Am, June 5th on the Upper Chesapeake Bay at a Northeast Creek.
Find a partner.
Yes, find a partner if you can. Also, real quick, Brian the Carpenter, the Founders of tonight, by the way, was a classic, and this is the all-day IPA we're drinking. And, Dave, you mentioned when that thing comes out of ice, it's pretty damn good.
Yeah, not many IPAs taste great baked in ice.
Right.
You know, they do.
Right. Yeah.
Because they're not as heavy.
Right.
It's a softer IPA.
Mm-hmm. I'd agree.
It's very hydrating.
It's very hydrating. Brian the Carpenter, we're going to do unboxing, and as you know, this is the only live podcast that does an FTB unboxing. Tonight, we're going to be doing an elite box, Dave. We're going to be doing the green box. Want to remind everybody, Father's Day coming up. It's a great time to get one of these. You know this is my favorite part of this right here. Yeah. Look at this. Just shipped in. Look at that. Still has my address right there. I don't want to show that on camera, but look at that. Like busting this seal. You get the pen in it. Oh, do you hear that? Mm-hmm. Ready? Listen. Oh, that popping sound. You know what I mean?
That might be the best one you ever did live.
Okay. And here's what we do. We're going to pass it around. I'm going to pick one. I'm going to give it to Dave. Dave, you pass it back. Give it to Luke. Luke, pass it over to Brian the Carpenter. And we're going to select one bait out of this mystery tackle box. That's something that catches your eye, something pretty unique. And I found mine right off the giddy.
Right off the top.
You knew I was going for that one. Dave, select something there, then we're going to pass it over to Luke.
Stand by.
All right, Brian the Carpenter.
Yes.
You know how many of these baits have been walking away after we've been doing these unboxings? You know, especially these these elite boxes, right?
Yeah.
This one's come with me.
It's a wake bait.
It's a wake bait.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got that.
You do. Okay. So this is by a company called Strike Pro. Never heard of the company, but it is a shad-colored, I would call it shad-colored wake bait, about 3.5 inches. Dude, I like it. For those of you that know the wake baits, this is bigger than a baby -1.
Yep.
But smaller than like a Jackal Mikey, smaller than those big, long rat-style wake baits. Great shad profile or bluegill profile. 100%, I'm going to throw this bait. I can see this bait catch some fish. So, Strike Pro wake bait. Never knew it existed. I'm glad it's in my hands. I'm glad I opened that. I think this is a great time of the year to throw wake bait too. Post spawn, top water time right now. Dave Brodzik, what do you got?
So what I got is a Lunker Hunt Poppin' Bug. Now what I'm looking at here is a nice soft body rubber frog.
Hollow body frog. Oh wait, it's got like a slot in it.
No, so you
that?
Texas rig. You're running the hook in there yourself. Now this hook seems undersized for the bait. Imagine getting aftermarket Gamakatsus to put through the mouth and run it like a normal
a little
frog.
more heavy duty. Yeah, that does seem a little small, that hook.
Yeah,
it's probably a 3/0. Might need a 4. and maybe even an EWG or a
feel that
super
body,
line.
dude. Feel the weight on that.
You
That's
could throw
that's
this.
heavy. Now that's without. Felt the weight without a heavy duty hook.
Yeah. Here's the other interesting thing about this, Dave, that you didn't mention. This is. What is is it like every 10 years the cicadas come out, right?
Yeah.
Is it 10?
Yeah, they're
That's
due.
happening.
What a great imitation right there, Dave.
Yeah.
Damn
That's
it.
interesting.
Cool concept. So hollow body frog with a single hook.
Lunker hunt, popping
Lunker
bug.
hunt. There you go. Luke, what do you got? What you
I
pull?
got a crawdad colored. It's a Vexen deep thud. It's a crankbait. It's got a rattle in it, so looks like it's probably going to dive about 6 to 8 feet.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, look at that. Oh, yeah. Might be like a Series 5 size or so. Kind of has a bomber, fat-free shad kind of profile
It
to
does.
it.
It
I like the
does.
color a lot. Like that red. That's a neat bait. Okay. Nice crankbait there. Brian Carpenter, what do you got? Call click, click.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
Yeah, what you got?
So, several things. I'll go through all the rest of the stuff in the box that you left. We got some bruiser baits, stick baits, and a smoke black flake, the only color Bert Huffman ever threw. We got net baits, some kind of little worm situation. Pack of them. I'll open that in a second. Fish Huey, some more of this worm stuff. This is neat, and I'm saving the best thing for last. But here we go. We got a little Optimum swim bait, and you guys missed something.
A little boom boom swim bait or regular swim bait?
Yeah, it's a little boom boom.
Okay.
All kinds of stuff in here. There's some more stuff. Some more little soft plastic swim baits or trailers. Little sampler pack of hooks. All right. I looked this up earlier today because I opened up my box. This was some of this stuff was in the Pro box. And this is by 10,000 Fishes, the Cycle Bait. All right. This is a variation of a spinnerbait. Something really crazy about it, so I had to look up a swim video. And it's caught my attention. And it's something that I feel like I got to go throw it to really believe what I saw.
Let me see. What is
Yeah,
it?
there's big rings before the blade. I saw
Dude,
that.
it's not split rings.
Huh.
This blade gets caught and goes back the other way.
Huh.
So the whole bait just kind of, it comes through the water like it just.
Like
you know
a possessed chick from Evil Dead?
A lot like that.
Huh.
Like very much like that. Yeah. The head's on a swivel, but it has a little something that locks it from going too far.
Yeah.
But this has all these rings, so the bait kind of comes through the water like that, and the blade flashes. And
Interesting.
It was interesting. The swim video looked really cool.
Can I see that bait? Huh. I like it better. Oh, yeah, look at that. Huh. Okay. Okay, it looks like a Mr. T spinnerbait with all the chains.
Mr. T, Curly T, Temple.
You know
What's
what I mean?
that style? Steampunk? It's like a steampunk spinnerbait.
Well,
Thank you.
played. Good
Thank
job,
you.
man.
I try sometimes.
It is interesting now.
My Walton's joke fell flat with the Hibdons, though.
I
Funny
thought
as even fucking laugh.
Was there a Walton's joke?
Yeah.
I must have been reading comments. I missed it.
I don't
Who
know.
was it,
That's
John Boy?
interesting.
Nah.
It's interesting. I'd like to see it in the water.
Got to see it in the water.
I would like to see it in the water.
See, my daughter's smart. She knows to ask for shit when I'm like 2 hours in on a show with like whiskey. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like
yeah.
Madison send me something.
Oh,
She
yeah.
knows her like, Dad, can I have?
She is smart because
Yeah.
dude, you're right.
Yeah.
And they get smarter as they get older.
Yeah.
Like this ain't random shit right here. She knows.
Now
because-
that's why it's a great gift idea to give your man of your life a bottle of that on Father's Day.
That's right.
2/3 through
to help with these moments with your children.
when you need something.
Yeah. But it's funny because she texted you when we were out kayak fishing last time too.
Yeah.
She knows.
Yeah, she knows when to hit me
She's
for the
got
questions.
you,
yeah.
man. That's
this
so
is
awesome.
she's going to the beach tomorrow. This is going to be can you get some money on the way home so I have some cash. I know what it is, dude. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, kids are great,
Yeah.
man. They're figuring out. But these are all life skills, right? Like, think about that. This is negotiations, right? She's learning how to negotiate. Manipulation. Negotiation.
Yeah, how
These
about
are
it?
important, man. You know? Very important.
So I got neighbors that just got into kayak fishing. Him and his son got Hobies used, And they started going to Bass Pro Shops, and they're all into the mystery tackle box.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah.
What Hobies did they get? Outbacks or
he got a 14, and his son got an Outback.
Nice.
He got an old PA
cool.
14.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Gen 1, like Gen 1.
Good for them.
He's already got the trailer set up with the double-decker tier on there.
Whoa. Hardcore.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's cool to see, and I know you guys work with Christine. It's cool to see that segment of fishing, too, how big that's gotten, you know. And it's very accessible, which is nice, you know. Sometimes the full-fledged tournament thing isn't as accessible to the regular person, but kayak fishing is. It's nice to see that. It's nice to see that. Brandon Carpenter, what else you got?
I got Dylan on the message board. Hit up Andre Albernaz because I believe he's looking for a partner.
There you have it.
For the Ike Pro-Am coming up. And also Half a Spot. Half a Spot.
Half a Spot.
Half a Spot. Yeah.
Yes, the Half a Spot event.
The Half a Spot event is happening now.
It's happening.
It's happening right now.
The Half a Spot is happening.
That's right.
That's cool.
Is it June already? It's almost June. So in June, so anyhow, download the Half a Spot app.
Yep, halfaspot.com.
That's right. There's a contest going on against Ben Milliken right now. Fish against Ben Milliken. In June, it's against
MFer?
Yeah, being MFer. In June, it's against me and the Wiz. And I don't know, man.
Whiz cheese.
Go fishing, enter your fish. You're going to catch them anyhow and win some cash, right?
Wow.
Fish against what?
Zach Burge.
Ish.
Yep, Ish Monroe.
That's right.
Frog fish against Ish and catch one bigger than Ish.
Why not?
It's a bragging title right there.
Straight guys for straight guys. Who else? Is there somebody else? Am I missing somebody?
Nah, me.
Are you fishing it though?
Yeah, I'm fishing it.
Prove it.
I can't prove it, but I like to fish it.
Anyhow, download the Half Spot app. Fish against us. Cash prizes, and there's a championship on Gunnersville in October for Mike's boat.
Cool.
Maybe. Probably
That's
not.
Cool.
But maybe.
I like it.
Yep.
I'm in.
For Luke's trunk. For Luke's trunk contents.
Be a heck of a prize.
That'd be a heck of a prize.
Al Capone's vault back there, man.
Alcohol and fishing lures, 50-50, right?
You must be 21.
That's right.
Jig heads and vodka. Come on.
Hey.
Let's go.
You know what I heard Swindle say today up on stage at weigh-ins? Today's event's on Gunnersville.
Yeah.
Gerald lives on Gunnersville.
Yeah.
For the last year, he hasn't been able to fish Gunnersville with
That's true.
anybody.
No. As soon as they announce it.
Anybody. His home lake,
Yeah.
he can't even have relatives come into town and take him out fishing.
Nope.
Oh, wow.
That sucks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that needs to change.
That makes it tough. Yeah.
Yeah, that's something needs to change there. And you were talking to, didn't you have this conversation with Roland and Jimmy about when and that was one of the reasons that Jimmy stepped away.
Yep.
Was he was could no longer practice with Chris.
Yeah. Yeah. He loved to practice with his wife. I
Yeah.
mean, they've done it for 30 years before. So then when I can't remember what year it was, but Bass announced, I want to say maybe 2010.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, Bass announced that you can't practice with anyone anymore in tournaments, in these top-level events. So they announced that, and it turned a lot of people off,
Yeah, shouldn't that have been a discretionary thing? You can ask for a waiver.
Yeah.
I think Jimmy fishing with his wife would be pretty much
I don't know.
waiverable.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, so FLW, I guess, just recently went to that.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, I kind of get it, but then it's it's fishing. It's a family kind of a sport, So
right.
And that whole deal with not being able to fish your home lake for an entire year.
Yeah, that's rough.
That's
yeah. Well, he can. He can by himself.
By himself, yeah.
Yeah, by himself. Yeah.
And his neighbors have to run along the bank. They can't get in his boat. Just to run along next to
Or
him.
he could put him on
a tube,
like
a rage
FaceTime.
tube. Put him on a rage tube.
Put him on an iPad on FaceTime, and just be out there just like little heads, following along with him.
I don't know. It just seemed weird.
Yeah, that tournament's interesting. I've been watching that last few days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That dude caught him again.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Banged out 27 on day one, almost 28.
Yeah.
Yeah, 23 today.
Dang.
Yeah.
He's on.
16 in the middle. It's interesting that Gunnersville has always been a very this time of the year. It's very post spawn, fish outside, ledges, deep. A lot of dudes fishing shallow.
Yeah.
Staying shallow. Very interesting, man.
Yeah, I don't ever fish there. I don't know.
Grass. Grass changes everything. What a show, man. Good show tonight. I love it. Love it. Having Dion on was great. Luke, thank you for coming in studio and hanging with us tonight. It was awesome. Brian, we got any other housekeeping to clean up?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Probably. I don't know. I think we're good.
Okay.
Yeah, buy your socks and.
Yeah, buy socks, buy whiskey. Father's Day's coming up. I hope everybody had a wonderful Saturday. I know we did. If you want to catch up on old episodes of Ike Live, please go to IkeLive.com. Brian, where else? Also get over at iTunes.
Yeah.
Stitcher.
Whiskey.
A lot of places to get Ike Live episodes catch up. We got a couple more coming up here, Brian. You know the next date of the next show? What do you got?
You tell me.
Okay, there you have it. We don't know anything.
How would I know? You're the master. You hold the keys.
It's awesome.
I'll be home at Tuesday at 4:30. We have to have it by 8. That's it.
That's awesome.
That's your notice.
I want to thank everybody for watching.
Yeah, Bass U will be at the Classic.
That's right. Bass U will be at the Classic. Tin Cup will be at the Classic.
Yeah.
We should put our booths together.
We should.
Yeah. Or at least have an after party.
Oh, we'll have that.
Think about that.
After
the Bass U Tin Cup after party.
Yeah, after every day.
After every day. After every show. Every day of the show.
Yep. Hold on. I got one more. So Bass U's got their seminars, Monday or Tuesday? Peter?
Couldn't tell you.
Please mention that our next Bass U class is
For
Monday.
me, that steampunk spinnerbait.
Oh, yeah.
It's Tuesday.
It's interesting.
What the deuce?
Hardware seems a little funky, but I guess that's part of the reason they wanted to shimmy.
Well, their Zoom seminars are this week. It's either Monday or Tuesday or both, and they're pretty outstanding. They got a stout lineup. I think they got Hackney. They got Lee Levissois.
Lee Livesey, Hackney.
Yeah.
Cool. Many more. There you have it.
This, that, and the third.
BashU.tv. Want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight to this brand new show. Want to thank our guest, Dave Brodzik. Thank you for being in studio tonight.
Yep.
Brian the Carpenter.
Yep.
Thank you for producing. Dude, Luke, thank you for coming in.
Thanks
Dude,
for
it
having
was
me.
awesome to have you in tonight.
Wish you lived closer, dude.
Special thank you to
I
Dion.
wish your bottles never emptied, like a magical vessel.
Magical.
Special thank you to Dion Hibdon for coming on and chatting with us tonight as well. And I hope everybody has the remainder of a great Saturday night, great Sunday. Anybody want to give a shout out before we head out?
His cup runneth over.
Okay, Luke, you got anything you want to shout out?
Buy some Tin Cup because every bottle that you buy will help conservation.
$1.
And it makes a great
it's a conservation,
Father's
everybody.
Day gift.
It makes
That's
a great Father's Day gift. Brian the Carpenter?
Every bottle of Tin Cup is a bass in the lake.
There you go. It's a great little tagline.
Going with it.
Hope you have a great night. We'll see you in the next one. Bye, everybody. Good night.
Empire Covers, protecting what you love. You take pride in your boat, so it deserves the best protection possible. Our durable woven fabric prevents ripping and provides UV protection, and our tape seams provide protection against the elements. The heavy-duty shock cord hem and strap and buckle system provide a tight and secure fit. Our top-of-the-line boat covers come with a ventilation system to keep your boat free from mold buildup. Empire Covers, protecting what you love.